Hey guys, morning. Sorry, having a bit of a late start today. I forgot to set my alarm, so I kind of slept through everything. But anyways, we're here now, so let's get started with this session. Let me just set everything up, and then we can be good to go. So let me just finish setting up this room real quick, and we should be good, guys. But yeah, man, it's cool. I picked up some trades over here actually with these scalps. There was a couple scalps right here actually, some pretty nice ones. Let me see if there's any other ones coming up. No, okay. Check these Forex trades too. Let me finish setting this up real quick. We should be good to go. Yeah, nothing really available for these. All right, looks like we're pretty much good to go. Let me send out these links real quick, guys, and we can be good to go. So let me just send this out over here. Let me get this out real quick. Let me grab this. All right, here we go. Here. All right, guys. So I'm getting this link sent out real quick. Let me get this Zoom link as well. All right, guys, let me finish sending out this link real quick, and we should be good to go. I'm trying to get this out as quick as possible so we can start trading. Hey guys, morning. Sorry, I had a late start today. Forgot to set an alarm. I slept right through it. But hopefully you guys caught some trades. I did catch this this US 30 scalp before bed last night, and there's a couple that hit over here as well. I'm sure you guys hit them over here. But let me finish sending out this link real quick, and then we can get started. Let me just send this out to all the social media, and then we should be good to go. All right.
So for like example right here, like there's a buy entry right here, right? If you were to take this trade right here.
All right, cool. A couple other places over here. Just copy this over. All right, I think we should be good for the most part. I think last place I got to send the link out is the Instagram, and I think we should be good to go, guys. So good morning, good morning. Sorry for the late start, guys. Just a reminder, I woke up late. I forgot to set an alarm last night, and I just slept right through it. But hopefully you guys caught these scalps here. There's a couple scalps that were available here for US 30. So there was one right here. I took this last night before bed. It's like around 11 or 10. And then there was a couple more that were right here as well. So if you guys send me an email or a message on Telegram, I probably haven't seen it yet. But there was two good ones right here. This one and this one right here. Missed this one. I wish I took this one. Let me see what time did this come at. 5:30. Yeah, so two full TPs right there for these two scalps. I'll have to take a look at the Forex market as well because I haven't really looked yet. But let me just get this posted on one last place, the Instagram, and then we should be good to go. Let's see. All right. Send this link out. All right, good. I think we should be good to go, guys. Make sure this finished loading. All right, guys, good morning. Let's get started. So let me check everything here real quick. Let everybody into the room. And we should be good to go. Let me just type in the chat. Make sure this is working. All right, cool. So make sure, if you guys can type in the chat to make sure everything works, that'd be good. I'm just not sure if the chat in the YouTube is working. Been having issues lately, but I think it should be good to go. Anyways, let me check everything else real quick. So I'm looking for some scalps here for US 30. I don't think there's any. Yeah, so let me see if I could. I'm gonna show you guys my profits real quick for those US 30 scalps until in case we have some people here that want to complain like yesterday, seeing that I didn't take any of these trades. But let me show you guys real quick. All right, so I'm gonna pull out my FCML real quick for in case someone in the chat wants to complain again from the trades that I was calling. So anyways, here we go. So see this scalp right here? I just want to confirm with you guys, the scalp right here was taken at about 2,200 hours. And then you guys can see right here, for whichever guy that wants to complain today, there's a sell right here for US 30. Entry point was 31,670, which was right here. 31,680 is off by 10 pips. And you can see right here that it hit the green full TP for a gain of 500 bucks. And then the one before that, 489 bucks. And the one before that, 618 bucks. So for you guys that were here in the room yesterday and saw, what's his name, Harry, whoever was complaining yesterday, saying that I don't take these trades, I took them right there. So I'm showing you guys these trades here because I actually took the trade. I'm not just showing you guys the trade. So just showing you guys that everything is in play. So anyways, that's pretty much that right there. You know, I was showing you guys that I did take this trade. I'm not just telling you guys that, oh, I saw this trade and I didn't take it. No, I saw it and I actually did take it. So anyways, that's that. I'm gonna look for this next entry down here as well as we continue on. But you know, just a reminder, guys, sorry for the late start. I woke up late. I forgot to set an alarm last night. I was up late last night because I was figuring out, actually figure out this other strategy, which, you know, once I get it all down, I'll show you guys. It's a little more like the more strategies that I look into, it just gets a little more complicated. So it's kind of hard to teach you guys because it becomes a little more subjective. So I'm going to try to make it a little simpler so you guys can understand it. I might have to create a new indicator for it as well, just so that you guys can see what I'm seeing without having to really do much work. Damn, I was going to call this trade right here GCAD. This would have been close to full TP right there. All these that have the orange markers next to them are trades that I was going to call last night, or not last night, but like some point yesterday that I didn't call for, I mean, whatever reason. But all right, so I'm just looking through the Forex market, just making sure there's nothing here that's available. Because I know some of you guys here don't trade US 30. You guys just want Forex trades. But as you can see right here, there's not really much to take. There's probably one more over here. Let me check this real quick. All right, 25. Maybe a late entry for UJ, but it's kind of a small move. So it's not something that I really want to take. Anyways, looks like the Forex market is still kind of slow today, guys. It hasn't really picked up yet. And it's all good. It's going to pick up into the week. Usually the market's kind of slow Monday to or Sunday to Monday anyways, and then it picks up around Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's all good. Anyways, I have everything here set up. So if we do see any entries, I'll be ready to call these trades. Otherwise, we will we'll be looking for some scalps. Meanwhile, let me just check the US 30 real quick. I want to make sure I don't miss any trades here. All right. So for one, we're going to look for that. For two, we're going to be looking for our daily entry as well. I have my alert set up right there for the daily entry. And then for the scalps over here, let's make sure there's no zones down here. Check this real quick. Yeah, I mean, there's no zones here. The next zones are going to be down here. So I'm just going to set up these zones right here. Or let me just redraw all the zones real quick so that we don't miss these. Let me just finish drawing these up right here. And then once I'm done drawing these up, I'll check out the chat real quick. Like, what's that noise? I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's someone in the chat. I forgot to mute everybody. There, go mute. It's like barking in the background. It's looking at my dog. He's all quiet. All right, anyways, let me finish setting this up real quick. We got these zones right here. After we got these zones, I think we're good to go. Because I mean, price is so high. I don't think it's gonna come up any soon. Oh fuck! Did I miss this trade right here? Oh no, okay. So it's close. So I was just looking over here. I mean, there's a bunch of entries that were available that I missed actually. I think Trell, you messaged me a couple of times. You're like rinse and repeat or wash and repeat, right? So there's actually a ton of entries here that were available, guys. There was one here, like all of these wicks that touch the pivots and the structure. These are a bunch of entries right here. And then again, right here. Wow, there's a lot of entries here that I missed out on because I was asleep. Damn, all these during London session too. I know David's going to have something to say about that, huh, David? I don't know if David's online here. I'm pretty sure you're at home because you're on Zoom. But damn, there's a bunch of entries here during London session. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like 20 entries right here that could have been taken if you missed any of them. Unfortunately, I only got one, but profit's profit, so it's all good. All right, so let me check the chat real quick. Hey, morning, John. Morning, Camo. Camo said, my man's good snipe last night. Definitely, bro. Oh, I called that for you guys, right? So I actually did call that for you guys. Oh, no wonder. Yeah, so I was like, anyone taking take the US 30 scalp, risky trade, but let's see how it plays out. That's the one I just showed you guys. That was the one that was way up here. We actually all took that trade and we hit that TP. So yeah, nice work on that, guys. If you guys caught that trade with me. And, just a reminder for the people who just joined the room, these are just, the confirmation that I actually took that trade right there. It has the timestamps right here and it has the price right here at 31,670. And it's green right here because I took this before I went to bed. Usually when it hits full TP, it's because I'm not watching it. I don't manually exit it. So these right here, I just let them, I set and forget them. I just take the trade, let them run. This one got 618. This one got 489. And this one got 521. So some pretty decent trades. And you can see I was taking both ways. For US 30, I took a sell for the first one. I took a buy for the other one, and then a sell for the one last night. So you can see that the strategy that we use, the K2 snipe strategy, it works both ways. It's not just one direction. But let me go through the chat real quick and see who else is here. Morning, Karen. Morning, Rav. Morning, Merciba. Morning, famous manipulation on the US pairs is crazy. I agree, bro. That's why I'm like holding off on the Forex pairs right now, because the market's just moving a little crazy as everything starts to reopen. Billy said, what you should do is like the horn get the donkey sound when they complain, right, Billy? I probably have that set up on the thing too. I gotta find it on the list. Morning, Matt. Morning, Peter. Morning, Saquon. Morning, Indra. Karen said, Shawn, can you analyze EJ, please? Went it to a buy yesterday and was going to hold it, but closed in profit. The journey to the next zone seemed a bit far. I got scared. Still working on my psychology. Definitely, Karen. So let me add that to the list real quick, and that'll be the first thing that we look at. So the first thing on the list is going to be Karen for Euro JPY. Next up, we've got, hey, morning, Vishnu. Morning, Ferris. Ferris said, wow, gold is shooting back up. So yeah, I actually took a trade on gold, like a just random trade. Let me check it real quick. Gold. Was this from last night? Yeah, this thing dropped heavy and then now it's shooting back up. But yeah, I'll take a look at that as well. Let me go. Oh, this is on the 10-minute actually. Let me go back. Sorry. I was trying to look at it on the 4-hour to see what's going on here. Yeah, gold's a mess, guys. Like that's why I was telling you guys not to take gold. So yeah, I took a random trade, just a one contract for gold, only down like $2. It's nothing, but actually I don't think it's still active. Let me see. I think it closed out. Yeah, I took like a one contract for gold yesterday. But yeah, it's a huge spike here. So I was telling you guys yesterday, for the guys that I was analyzing gold, I was mentioning that gold's probably not going to be something safe to trade until it breaks below this structure or breaks above this structure right here, right? Because if you guys have been watching the live streams, I've been saying that it's just ranging within this zone and this zone down here. It's just bouncing around. Because if you delete these two right here, you can see that these are the zones that it's rejecting off. Obviously, we want the middle zones just to have some confirmation, but in reality, it's just going to bounce between these two zones right here. So you can literally take a buy and just write it back up. It's probably going to bounce up from here, come back here, from there, come back down here, until it breaks above it or below it. Once it breaks above it or below it, you'll have an entry to take a buy or a sell. But I'll analyze that in a little bit. Let me just add this to the list over here. So I think the next one is going to be gold for Forex. Let me see what else is here. Eric said, killing it already this morning, 4,300 the first 30 minutes of US 30. Nice, bro. Congrats, Eric. KT wants me to take a look at the peso, so let me add that to the list as well. USD MXN. Let's see what else we've got over here. All right, cool. Renee wants me to take a look at NASDAQ. That's 100. Hey, morning, Kushi. Finally back, Kushi. You were on vacation, right? So welcome back to K2. I know I haven't seen you in a while. David's been telling you London is the best. You want to listen. Morning, Billy. Exact 3 a.m. is where it's at, Flake. I mean, it's famous Flakes. I wish I took it. There's a whole bunch that I missed there. Billy said I just took before the 31,600 scalp off the pivot and small zone. Pulled out early in profits, though. Don't like how it hit the 30-minute zone. Nice. Yeah. So Billy took the scalp over here for US 30, I'm assuming, right? So you said 36,000, 31,600. Oh, gotcha. So you took this one right here. Yeah. I was looking at that one, but it didn't touch the zone on my end. I'm not sure if you're looking at it from a different time frame. You might have looked at it on the 30-minute, but it did look like a solid entry right there. So if you did take that, you said you pulled out early, right? So it would have hit full TP, or if you pulled out early, I mean, it would have hit TP anywhere around this area anyways, because it had little to no drawdown. So that looks good for the most part. It looks like it's coming back actually. So we'll be looking for another entry here. Let me just turn this off. Yeah, we'll be looking for another scalp whenever it comes up and test, this area up here. Meanwhile, we'll start looking at these other pairs. But we'll keep an eye on US 30. Obviously, I'm going to be looking for some scalps. David said, I'm already done trading for the day. Now y'all going to be stuck. The Zoom link is so much better. Yeah, I agree, dude. The Zoom link is looks way better on there. Let's see. Dwayne said, morning, Dwayne. Callum said, Eric, what lot size? All this off one or multiple scalps? All right, cool. So I'll let you guys link up in there, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at these other pairs real quick. So, all right, the first pair on the list is going to be EJ for Karen. So let me take a look at that real quick. Yeah, Karen. So this move right here, hit full TP. This is the one that I went over on Sunday. Like how you mentioned the zone from the other area is just way too far off. So Yeah, that's the reason why I didn't take this trade either, because the zone is just too far off. So I'm gonna go ahead and take everything off the list right here. I'm gonna zoom out from this point, and I'm gonna turn on the K2SR indicator so that we can draw these zones on the chart. So this is pretty much what I start off with, guys. I start off with the K2SR zones. I draw my zones on the chart so I can identify the rejection points. And then from that point, I will draw the other parameters. So first things first, we draw these zones so we can identify the rejection points. Yeah, once we have these drawn up right here, that's pretty much it. The next thing we do is we look for the higher zone. Since there's no higher zone on the 4 hour, we go on the 8 hour. There's nothing on the 8 hour, we go on the daily. Nothing on the daily, we go on the weekly. So off the weekly chart, this is the weekly resistance. This is the next line of resistance for this specific pair. And just like Karen mentioned, she mentioned that the zone is like way too far out. So this is why she pulled out too early, which is fine. It's something that I would do too, because as price continues to bounce around this area, it's going to create new zones. So once we've drawn these zones, you can see I just drew these zones today, and the same zone area has been tested since November of last year. So it broke into the zone in November, it consolidated, then just bounced between the zone until it finally broke out right here. As soon as it broke out, odds are it's going to continue pushing up because it broke the structure. And looking at this here, you guys can see my analysis from this point. So basically, we had the rejection from here. We had the buy signal right here, and it broke and closed past structure. When this happens, it usually pushes to the next structure right here. As soon as it breaks above it right here, it continues and does the same thing. It continues to push up higher and higher from this point. So the next area of resistance is not for a while. It's not until like way up here. So if you think about it, price is way down here, and this is like a total, I mean, it's like a 400 pip move, right? It's a long way to go. But this would have hit TP here, obviously. So if you would have taken this trade, following the K2SR strategy, this right here would have broken structure. You would have taken a long position right there. And then you pretty much would have just rode it to the next, I think the max TP that we usually go to is like 100 pips, right? That's like max TP for like intraday move. So we usually hold this here for about 100 pips. And then as you can see right there, it's on its way to full TP. So Karen, if you, you said you did take this trade. So, the highest I would go for one single move would be 100 pips right here. And then obviously, we continue to keep riding it if that becomes the case. So, just looking at it here, there's no upper zone that's available right now. Maybe if we go on the shorter time frames, we can find one. Here, let me tie this real quick, because it's kind of good to just have a ceiling, just so you guys understand, where the rejection points might come from. Because the last thing you want to do is hold on to a trade and then it reverses on you. So for example, right here, this is the rejection point on the 30-minute. So there's actually two rejection points right here off those. So just looking at this here, I'm gonna check this off. I'm gonna go back on the 4 hour. And yeah, just looking at it right here, it's basically just conducting a break and retest, right? That's exactly what's happening right here. If you look at this point, it broke structure, it's retesting structure, and then odds are it's going to shoot right above it. So Karen, if you want to re-enter your JPY right here, because I know you're out of it, once it closes above the structure right here, you can re-enter for a buy. And this is something I'm definitely going to be looking at as well. So as soon as that happens, you can enter a long position right here, and then pretty much just ride this thing up higher and higher, because it's got about 400 pips to go until it reaches, obviously the next zone up there. So it's got a long way to go, way up here, right? Before it actually, hits actual strong resistance, because this is a 30-minute resistance, so it's not really that strong. And that's pretty much as high as it goes until it starts to create new zones on the 4 hour. So Karen, if you want to rejoin this trade, just wait until it breaks the structure right here. The way I got this was I went to the 30-minute. That was the closest time frame that had an above structure. And the price point would be 128.277. So once that happens right there, you can take that buy, and then you can just pretty much ride it even higher from that point. But until then, we're going to be patient with it. The next forward candle closes in about 2 hours and 29 minutes. So at that point, you can determine, whether you want to take this trade or not. Anyways, let's go back to US 30. All right, so there's actually a scalp right here. Kind of missed it. I can probably take it for a late entry. If you guys want to take this scalp right here, this is a bit of a risky scalp. I don't know if I want to take it yet. I'm still thinking about it because it was a strong move up right here. So let me just get US 30 open on my chart over here. Let's see. Hold on. Let me just check the IG sentiment because I don't want to take this trade and everyone's freaking, and then everyone is taking a sell, right? 30. That's probably the worst part if you're going to enter this trade and then everyone's selling and then it just ends up spiking up higher and higher. I got to be quick because this shit's moving quick. All right, let's see. US 30. Okay, it's not that bad. It's 71% short. So I think I'm going to take this trade here. I'm going to take a small lot size, guys. All right, so I'm in US 30 already. I just entered this trade. If you guys want to take it, you guys don't need to take it, but I'm going to take it. So here's the parameters for that. I'm just going to subtract it by 10 because that's how much the price difference is for FTMO. So right here, that's the entry point. That's a profit. That's a target. And it's profit. That's a stop loss. And on my end over here, I'm just going to adjust the stop loss by 10 pips. So it's 31,644, 66.4, but I'm going to put 31,654. I'm just going to change it by 10 pips. Not a huge difference. And then for the TP right here, it's 31,564. I'm going to put 31,554. Yeah, it shouldn't be too big of a difference, guys. It's just, oh, sorry. Wait, no. 31,654. Oh, what's wrong with my thing? Sorry, guys. I think I did that backwards. So I don't like about MT4. The numbers are different too. Like it's the stop loss first and the TP, and over here on TradingView, it's a TP first and the stop loss. So let me just do that again. The stop loss is going to be 31,654, and then the TP is going to be 31,554. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. All right. So I got it. I got it all set up right there, and then we should be good to go. All right, I got my TP stop loss set up right here on this. And then I'll just set some alerts so we don't have to really follow it. So let me see. Set that up right there. We got TP scalp number 1. TP. Nice. So it's dropping back in profit. It looks perfectly fine right here. So we got the TP set right there. Got this set over here as well. This scalp 1. All right, so I got my alert set up right there. It's in profit currently. Yeah, other than that, let me check over here to see if there's anything else that we for this over here. Let me see if there's anything else I'm missing. All right, so I think that's about it for that right there. Let me see what else we got over here. All right, let me just check the chat real quick. Emmanuel said, wasn't there also a long US 30 scalp at high around 3 hours ago that didn't work? Let me see. 3 hours ago. Yeah, so this one over here, it looks like this one didn't work. It didn't play out over here. So the first entry is right here. This is the one I took last night. There was a short entry here that I took. So I would have taken these over here. Well, this is the one that I did take. I did take this one right here. And then it looks like it swung down. And then you said about 3 hours ago, which was right here. So this one right here would have been skipped because it was 2 entries. When it's a buy and a sell, you just skip that one. This right here would have been a buy though. Let me go back and check real quick. So let me go back to US 30 over here on the 10-minute. I just don't want to mess up the chart that I'm currently on. So just looking at it over here, this goes to, let's see. The first one that we were looking at was this red one right here, which is matched up with, let's check the time for that one, 210. So 210 right here. We'll turn on the SR indicator. Yeah, so this one right here would have been, if you did take it, it would have been a loss. So this one right here, if you did take this trade, this would have been a small loss right here. So you would have skipped this one, or actually you would have taken this one right here, this green one. So you take this green one right here, this one would have been a loss. I don't know if anyone took that trade, but I wouldn't have taken this one. So if you took this one right here, this would have been I wouldn't have taken because I would have been asleep, obviously. It's the main reason why I wouldn't have taken that trade. So if you took this trade right here, this would have been a loss, and then you would have just switched over to the other side. So this right here, let's see. Yeah. So this one right here would have been a loss. And then if you guys are following what I mentioned, if you have one loss, you don't take any more trades in that direction. So you have one loss right there. It swings over to the other direction over here. Now let's go to the other chart because it lines up with the other one. So I'm not going to mess up this one. But yeah, like we were looking at right here, if you were taking that buy right there at 210, so if you took that buy at 210 over here, this would have been a loss right there, obviously. So that would have been a loss, and then you wouldn't have taken any more buys. You would have just waited for the sell, and then the sell over here appeared this way. So you would have taken a win right here. So for this point right here, what you would do is you would, so if I was awake, say if I was awake during London session, I would have taken this trade over here. I would have won, obviously. And then I would have taken this one right here. I would have lost this one. It would have been a break even. And then you would have taken this one right here, and then this would have won. So you'd be in profit for the day. But yeah, this is an entry that you would have taken 3 hours ago if that became the case. And that's why I don't like trading during London as well. So during London could be a double-edged sword because there's a lot of volatility, but then sometimes you get a choppy market right here where it comes down, swings up shortly, and it comes right back down. But it's fine because if you take all these trades, you'd have one win, you have one loss, and then you have another win right here. So you would have covered that loss and you still would have been in profit. So that's one right there that you would have taken if that was the case. But other than that, it's fine. I'm in profit for the day. I've only had wins so far because I didn't take any of those trades. And that's something that I probably would have taken as well because the sentiment was so low. So since there's so many people that are short, I probably would have wanted to go long. But I guess something pushed price in that direction. I'm not sure if there was something that happened in the news overnight. Let's see. Yeah, not really. Looks like there was no heavy news last night. But what I could see happening there is just people re-entering the market after the holiday. Bitcoin surpasses 50,000. See if there's any other news here. Yeah, no, nothing else that I see here. Damn, Marriott CEO dies after battle with cancer. That's crazy. I didn't realize Bitcoin went that high. So that's awesome because I have my Bitcoin still. So let me check the Bitcoin price. It looks like it dropped a little bit. So it came up a little bit and then it dropped. Let me check my Bitcoin actually. So if you guys have been following, if you guys have been following, I bought like $500 of Bitcoin after selling it off the last time. And it's up about 1,062 now. So if you guys want to see here, I bought $500 in Bitcoin over here before Elon, endorsed Bitcoin. Because generally when I trade Bitcoin, I wait for it to break and I wait for it to retest a support. As soon as it retested support right here, I bought like $500 in Bitcoin, and then now it's at like 1,062. So you guys can see right here, it just jumped up. This is that's how I trade Bitcoin. I don't actively trade it. I buy it when it dips. So like, for example, here, whenever Bitcoin comes up, it dips, I buy some more Bitcoin. It dips lower, I buy some more Bitcoin. Comes up, comes back down, I buy some more Bitcoin. And the cost of my Bitcoin just averages out. So like for this right here, basically the way that I go is like, say for example, I buy Bitcoin right here, and it comes back down further. I buy more Bitcoin when it reaches this support, and it just averages down the cost of my Bitcoin because it comes back up, comes back down. I buy some more Bitcoin, averages the cost, so it comes back down, comes up, comes down, buy some more Bitcoin, and it just keeps averaging my cost, right? Every time it comes up, comes down, and it just lowers and lowers your average cost of Bitcoin. So for example, over here, I sold it off when it got to like this high point. I think this was in January. Yeah. When it got to this high point right here, 41,000, I sold all my Bitcoin. And then as it comes up through here, as it comes up, comes back down, I bought some more Bitcoin here. So as it comes up over here and then it comes back down, I'll probably buy some more Bitcoin again around this area. My average will go higher, but it's still going to be lower than this price where I bought, because I bought like 500 bucks here. I'm already at 1,000. As it comes back down, I'll buy another 500 or 1,000, and then it'll just average my cost. And then as it keeps coming down, I'll just buy some more. But that's how I trade Bitcoin. Anyways, guys, let me go check the chat real quick, see what else I missed over here. Eric said I've been doing 2-to-1 risk to reward on scalps. Good success. Nice. Let's see. Zephyr said, isn't the first valid long for the daily US 30? Let me check. Yeah, you're right. So this would be this would be an entry right here for the daily entry. I'm gonna hold off on it though right now. If anything, we might enter it for a late entry. Over here, this is the daily entry right here. So if you guys are familiar with how the daily entry works, what we do is we wait for the first valid signal, and then we take it right here. The only thing that I don't like about taking the here, I'll call this trade for you guys. It'll be the later entry. So just make sure that you guys take it as a buy stop, and you guys are entering it at market, because whenever it's a buy signal like that and it's really long, like if it's a really long candle, it usually has some sort of retracement. So you guys can enter this late. I'll send it to the premium group right here. So this is going to be the US 30 daily entry. I just got to make sure that you enter it as a buy stop. Don't enter it as a market. So here you go, guys. So it should be a pending order. Keep in mind, guys, I'm warning you guys here because I know a lot of you guys want to just enter it right away because you guys want to get in at that discount. But make sure that you don't enter right away and you guys wait for it to actually swing up before you take it, because I don't think it's going to come up just yet. It might drop for a bit before it actually drops. I mean, it's going to drop for a bit before it actually comes back up. So I'm just going to set that up right there for you guys. All right. And the difference with the FTMO is it's simple. You just subtract it by 10. So like, for example, here, entries this, you just subtract that by 10, because that's what the pricing difference is. It's not off by that much. It's only off by a little bit. So 79. 4. All right, guys, so keep that in mind. These are all pending orders. They're not, they are not, I got to remind you guys, because I know some of you guys are going to still get it wrong, even though I try to make it as yeah, let me see real quick. Shit, okay, let me fix that real quick. Stop loss is going to be, let me fix that. Let me delete this real quick. All right, let me update this real quick. So this stop loss is going to be 464. All right, that's a small difference right there. I guess I'm getting like tripped up on this stuff. 464 for the regular, and then 454 on that one right there. Oops. Make sure this only gets sent to the premium. Good. All right, so it looks like we're good to go on that. So, all right, cool. Everything here is pretty much good to go. Looks like our scalp's pretty nice in profit right now. Yeah, scalp's right there. It's about to hit full tilty. I might close this out manually, actually. I'm profit about 300 bucks. I'm probably gonna close this out manually if you guys want to close it. Not that I don't think it's gonna drop. It's just that I don't want to keep watching it while I'm analyzing other stuff here. So I closed out mine for a profit of 300 bucks. If you guys want to close out on profit, you guys can. Otherwise, you guys can hold on to it to full TP. But just the way that the market's moving right now, the reason for this is because I did see this as a buy over here. Oh, shit, I should have just held it. Look at that thing dropping now. Well, it's all good. I closed out for 300 profit anyways. I only lost out on about 200 pips right here. It's not a big deal. Yeah, so I lost out on this profit right here. I still lock in pretty decent profit off that. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to re-enter for another scalp later. So anyways, if you guys want to close out in profit, you guys can. I just, confirmation here for you guys that want to know, I did close out of mine in profit for 300. Sometimes, I just feel like closing out in profit because I'm doing other stuff. And then we have the daily entry right here as well. So I'm going to have an alert here set for when it comes back up to the entry point. Let's see, this is going to be daily entry filled. So it hasn't filled yet, but it will fill shortly. Anyways, let me get this set up right here. But yeah, guys, if you guys want to hold on to that, now I should have just held on to it. Look at that. It's about to hit full TP right now. All right, so let's go back to the questions over here. Unfortunately, I closed mine right there. Yeah, so I just fixed my parameters for the daily entry. That should be good to go now. Other than that, we should be good. Let me see if there's anything else here real quick. All right, let's see if there's anything else here that I missed. But yeah, Zephyr. So that's the long entry that I just called. Radimir said, "Hey, Shawn, are we not taking the daily entries anymore?" Yeah, I know, definitely. So I called that already. There you go, full TP, guys. Full TP. Get the louder horns in here. All right, so sorry, I'm getting a bunch of free messages here. All right, so full TP off that. So if you guys took that scalp with me, just hit full. I should have just held on to it. It's whatever. I just lost out on 200 bucks. Not a big deal. I still locked in 300, so it's all good. Man, I hate MT4, guys. It closed me out even earlier. Like I was at 300 when I closed it out, and it only gave me 200. But it happens, whatever. So here for all the complainers who want to say I'm not taking these trades. I mean, this looks like the trades that I took, right? So you can see right here. Let me just put this over here. So this entry point for this was 31,614. And actually my profit was less because I entered this trade late. Like when it was already down, I actually entered a little late. But let me show you guys right here. All right. So here are the trades that I took for US 30. Told you I took a sell the other time. 618, I took a buy for the other one, 489. I took a sell right here for another one, 521. And then the trade I just took right now for that sell, I locked in 209. It's supposed to be about 300, but I did enter this trade late, and MT4 closed on my trade a little later than I wanted to after I clicked on the button to close. So I mean, it's fine, guys. I'm straight in profit right here. So if you add these all up, you know, I have 2 FTMO accounts right now. Third one's under maintenance. So I mean, it's fine. You know, add all these profits up right here, 618 plus 49. As long as you guys don't lose, I mean, these profits add up, right? So you guys do the math right there. For the most recent, the 4 US 30 trades that I took so far, no losses back to back for the ones today. And it equates to 1,837. You multiply it by 2 FTMO counts. That's 3,600 right there. So there goes my my transparency for the, you know, for whoever wants to ask these questions. Matt said, Shawn, it's not MT4. I think it's your broker. No, MT4 has problems, Matt. I'm sure you've ran into them. You just haven't noticed them. MT4 sometimes freezes, or it has it just executes late. It's not necessarily the broker, because if you look at my other profits here, these don't really have issues with these. See where the ones where I just let them run to TP, they're fine. But MT4 sometimes, because I'm using the web version, I'm not using the actual application. They don't have it on Mac. So when you click the button, sometimes it doesn't actually execute. It like takes a few seconds and then it executes. That's why when I just let them run a full TP, I get the full TP right here. But if I close it manually, it doesn't close exactly on time. So it's the MT4 app, not the broker. Because I've been using MT4 like before FTMO was around, and it still had the same issues. Whether it's he goes away, whether it's FTMO shouldn't have a problem, because it's a different what's it called? It's a different broker. Like I had issues with he goes away, and also had issues with FTMO. Ken was asking, Shawn, why don't you merge the 2 FTMO accounts? Because the problem with the FTMO accounts is that they have different payout dates. They're complete opposite payout dates. So if I merge them, it takes like a week for them to merge them. And if I miss a whole week of trading, you know, it's money right there. So that's why I haven't merged them yet. I have an issue with the third one. So I'm not sure if I told you guys, if you guys sat in on my last live session, I mentioned that the last holiday, not this holiday, I think it was MLK Day in March, when we had that issue where you can't hold your US 30 trades, you know, into the market close, because it closed early, like at 10 a.m. I had one F1 funded account that had a trade running. So I mean, I don't know what happened to it. Like it's frozen right now, and they're looking into it. I think they're probably gonna take that account away, because I broke one of the rules, which is fine because I still have my other accounts. So that's why I haven't merged them yet, Camo, because I don't want one of them to have an issue and then it carries on to the other account. And then also because the payout dates are opposite. Like one of my payout dates is like the beginning of the month, and then the other one is like middle of the month. So if I merge them, it's going to take a while for them to put them together. And then I'm not going to be able to, you know, make any profit for like a week or so. So that's why I'm not really in a rush to copy them over, because it's the same thing. I'm still copying the trades. Damn, look at this drop right here. So we might have to cancel this daily entry, guys, because that's what I mentioned. So this was a buy stop here. You guys shouldn't have filled this yet. If it drops down to here, we're just going to cancel it. But other than that, let me go check the other questions over here before I continue on. So just a reminder, I still have these questions here. So I have gold for Ferris. I have USD MXN for KT, and I have NASDAQ 100 for Renee. So I'll look at your guys' pairs, but let me look through the chat real quick to see if I see anything here. All right, I just want to make sure, because you guys are having your side combos here, so I want to skip over those. Mr. Idgelt is asking, do you trade gold? So I personally don't trade gold. I mean, I can analyze it for you guys, but I don't trade gold myself. Gold is just it's too manipulated of an asset, and I don't really like trading it because it costs, I mean, I feel like it costs more to trade gold than like everything else. Well, for my specific broker, it does, because my broker is a US regulated broker. So if I do trade gold, like you need like crazy margin to trade that. So I don't trade gold myself, but I do analyze it for you guys if you guys ever ask for it, because it's the same analysis. Ash said, what's the difference between DJ30 and DJ30E mini? One of them is the standard and one of them is the mini, Ash. So I mean, you know, just using the basic here, I'll just put it up here. So DJ30 is a standard lot measurement. DJ30 mini is mini lot measurement. I mean, it's the main difference. It's just that's the main difference. So if it's a standard, if it's without the mini, it's just a standard 1.00. That's the standard lot size for them. For the mini, you just move it over by 1. So it's the same thing. You just move the decimal over by 1 over here, and then it just becomes a 10 lot instead of the others. So it just depends on which broker you're using. Some brokers have the mini, some brokers have the standard, some of them have both. Depending on your account size, if you have a small account, then you'd have to use the mini, obviously, because you can't afford to trade the standard. You need about 1,000 to trade the standard. I think for the mini, you could trade with about 100. So just keep that in mind. That's the main difference between the mini and the standard. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. All right, so Eric and them are having that side convo. Yeah, Rev mentioned, sorry, stop loss. Yeah, okay, so I fixed that already. That's good. Eric said, look at the scalp that just hit full TP on German 30. So let me pull up German 30 real quick. I know it's something that you like to trade, Eric, and that hits pretty nice too. And the profits are a lot bigger on the DAX. Nice. Okay, so let me just draw my zones real quick off this. Yeah, so there's some nice zones here actually. So we got a couple of zones. I'll just draw up all these zones over here so that we can see what exactly we're looking at over here. So it looks like Eric took this most recent scalp for the DAX right here. Let's draw these zones up here. These zones up here. All right, I think we should be good. Let me just draw this upper zone. I think there's one lower zone down here as well, just for reference. All right, yeah, so looking at this right here, looks like Eric took this trade. So Eric said, look at the scalp. I just hit full TP on German DAX 30. Nice, nice. Okay, so it looks like you took this one right here, this red candle, right? It's the most recent one. So it looks like you took that one right there, took a short position right there. Nice, full TP. I'm not sure how far you took it down, but it looks like 250 is like the sweet spot right here. So congrats on that, Eric. Looks like you locked in some nice profit off that. I got a bunch of Telegram messages here, guys. So if you guys are messaging me on Telegram, the looks like I'm not getting to you. So Camel said lost 49 last night because I entered the scalp wrong, but profited 125. Nice work, Camel. So Camel, yeah, he took like the wrong trade here. It looks like he took like the wrong sell, I'm assuming. But you still took 125 for the day, which is not bad. You know, trading on a smaller account, this is good because it just keeps stacking up from there. Let me just see if I missed anything else before we continue on. All right, cool. So I think that's it for the questions. I mean, I have a lot of Telegram questions here, guys, but I'll answer them when I get a chance. I just don't have a chance to answer your questions right now. But anyways, let me see over here real quick if there's anything else that I missed. Eric said, I normally do 200 to be safe, locking a full TP last night as well for the DAX 30. So yeah, so it looks like Eric took this trade right here. He got a full TP off that. He used a 200 TP stop loss. So that's pretty solid, bro. It looks like you took that one, and then you said you took another one. You took another one last night. So it looks like the other one you took was over here, right? This green one. So you got a full TP on this. You also got a full TP on this as well over here. So nice work on that, Eric. Like little to no drawdown. Literally, you pretty much just took those profits like it was nothing. Maybe the DAX is something we should start looking at as well, guys, right? So maybe we'll start looking at that early in the market, and then we'll move over to US 30 as it continues to move over. So going back to US 30 over here, there is nothing to take at this time, but we'll go ahead and take a look a little later. So Skinny Boys is asking, hey, Shawn, what is your broker leverage? For FTMO, I think it's like 1 to 100. But you know, I have a 100K account, so leverage doesn't really matter because I'm not taking I'm not over leveraging. I'm only taking a standard lot for each of these US 30 trades. So it's equivalent to a mini lot, but I mean, leverage doesn't really matter when you have a bigger account because you just got to use proper risk management. But I think it's 1 to 100 for FTMO. All right, cool. So let me get through these questions real quick. Sorry, I missed all these other questions. So first, wanted me to take a look at gold. Let me just pull up gold real quick. So I was analyzing it earlier. You know, I probably don't have to remark up everything because everything's pretty much the same here. Let me just see if the zones are different. There's really no point in me remarking everything because everything's the. Actually, here I'll do it from scratch just so you guys that are new here can see what I do. So basically, here's the naked chart for gold. What I do first is I turn on the K2SR indicator for the new people here that don't know how I analyze these charts, because I analyze everything the same way, whether it's Forex, whether it's commodities like gold, whether it's stocks, whether it's futures like indices. Same analysis all around. So for gold here, I draw my zones first. And this is actually an easy one to draw because they're all pretty clean zones here. So what I was mentioning, if you guys have been following my gold analysis for the past couple of weeks now, I mentioned that I was stuck within the this range right here. So just looking at gold currently, I mean, obviously you guys can kind of see it here that it's ranging within these two zones, but now it's in a tighter zone. So if I take this off right here and this right here, you can see that it's ranging within this area, right? It broke into this range, came down, came up, came back down. Now it's going to go back up. If I put this back over here, my analysis for this is to wait for price to break and close past structure. So right here, we have, obviously we have a sell bias because we have the rejection from this point. We also have the sell signal right here. And then it pushed down to this structure right here. Now it's rejecting off here. What we can see happening off this point is we have the rejection right here. And then it's the same pattern just repeating itself. We have the rejection right here. We have the rejection right here, right? Does it look familiar to you guys? Rejection, rejection, buy signal, push it to the next structure right here, right? It's the same thing. It's just repeating itself. So at this point again right here, you know, if we have another buy signal right here, odds are it's going to push up to the same structure over here as well. It's going to be the same pattern, just repeating itself. So, I mean, I wouldn't have a bullish bias until we get that buy signal, but once that buy signal appears, I mean, you could already anticipate what's going to happen next, right? It's not that difficult. It's the same thing repeating itself. But me personally, I probably wouldn't trade gold until it breaks above this structure right here, or until it breaks below this structure right here. Because once you have that, then you can take you could take a really nice move. So you can take this buy up here, write it up for about, I don't know, 170 pips. You take a sell down here. You can take this down even farther, right? So with gold right here, I mean, if you guys have followed my analysis from, what was it? I think we were analyzing this like earlier this year. I mentioned that once price broke structure, so before it was stuck within this area right here, it was stuck within this zone and this zone. And I mentioned that whenever it broke below here, you would take that sell, right? So I think you guys, if you guys have been following me, it broke below here. And then some of you guys took that sell. And then you guys caught that big move down here for like 300 pips. So if you guys go back and watch my live streams like earlier this year, we were analyzing like gold for like weeks. We were analyzing it from here from January 8th up until it finally broke the structure. And when it did, it was a nice move downwards. So now it's doing the same thing. It's the same pattern. It's stuck within a range right here. And basically what you're waiting for is for price to break and close past here, or price to break and close past here, so that you can take that nice move downwards or nice move upwards. But that's pretty much, that's pretty much my analysis for gold. Like I mentioned, I don't trade gold because it's highly manipulated. I mean, you can get burned pretty easily off gold, guys. I've been burned through gold, and that's why I stopped trading it. Because sometimes you'll be trading, and then all of a sudden it spikes in the other direction, and then it comes back, and then you're stopped out. It goes straight to your TP. So that's why I don't really mess with gold. But yeah, that's my gold analysis there. Let me see. The next one is a peso for KT. I'm just gonna look at that real quick. I'm gonna go through these questions real quick, guys, so that I can focus on my scalps. But I'm able to answer any questions for you guys. So if you guys have any other questions, put them in the chat, and I can take a look. I'll add you to the list, and then from there we can move forward. So let me go back to US 30 real quick. Make sure everything's fine here. Looks like it's swinging back up. So if it does swing back up, you guys can take that buy if it ends up hitting the the entry point. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. It's a huge wick right here. Let me check out this wick. Yeah, it's a huge wick, 64 pips. it could probably spike up at least 500. Let me see. I could see that pushing up 500 right here, but who knows? I'm not going to mess with it. We do have that trade set up right there. I think next up, we're just going to wait for this to come up and retest the pivot. So I'll keep watching this here. I'm going to set an alert here to let me know when it touches a orange pivot, level 3. So that when it gets to that point, maybe we can take a trade off that. But anyways, back to the peso over here. I'm gonna delete everything off the chart. And I'll do the same thing I just did for gold. Same analysis. I mean, it's not that difficult. If you guys want to learn how to do this, you guys can. Just go on the website, kttrades.com, and then you can sign up for the strategy course right here if you want access to the indicators and if you guys want to learn what I'm doing here and learn what everyone else is doing as well. So let's go ahead and turn on the K2SR indicator right here. First things first, we're going to go ahead and draw our zones. Let me delete that, wrong tool. All right, so for this one right here, let's draw these zones. That zone right there. I could just connect these two right here. So we got those. Connect that right there. That right there. That right there. And that right there. All right, cool. So I'm done with the zones. I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. So you can see right here that I drew these zones from today, which is February 16, and you can see that price has been within the zoned area since November 5. So it hopped into this range in November 5 right here, and then from that point, it just kept moving within the zoned area, right? So just looking at price here, once we have this set up, next thing I do is I turn on the momentum indicator so I can determine the direction of momentum. So right here we have a bullish bias, right? So we have the rejection from this point right here. We have the buy signal right here. What we're waiting for next is for price to break and close past this structure right here. Once it breaks and closes past this structure right here, you can take a long position and then ride it to the next structure over here for about 140 pips, right? It's a nice little move up there if you wanted to take that. And you can see here that it did the same thing prior. So it's done it a lot of times, actually. The same pattern right here, rejection, buy signal, breaking close past structure right here. And then it pushed up right there, right? So if you took that long position right there, you would hit a nice TP right there at the next zone for about 120 pips or so, right? And then the same thing again right here, same exact pattern, reject down here, buy signal, breaking close past structure right here. And what did it do? Same exact thing. It pushed up to the next structure for like a gain of like 140 pips, right? So it's the same pattern right here. We're just waiting for this to break and close past the structure. Once that happens, you can take a buy and then it should ride up to here. And it doesn't just go in one direction. So like, for example, here we have this one for a buy. Again, right here, we have this for a sell, right? Rejection, sell signal, breaking structure. I mean, it's really simple, guys. A lot of people want to overcomplicate trading. If you have, these K2 indicators and you know my strategies, we've been applying this strategy for years now. It works perfectly fine. So right there, another one if you wanted to take a sell. And again, same situation right here. Rejection from here. Sell signal. Breaking close past structure down here. And then what did it do? Push down to this next structure down here. It tested, came back down, and then tested this structure right here. So you can see it's the same pattern that just keeps repeating itself. So if you're looking at the peso right here, I mean, the main thing that you'll be looking for is for price to break and close past this structure. You can see right here that it attempted to break past it, then it rejected off it. So that's one thing that you got to keep in mind, because if it rejects past it and provides for a sell signal, then it might go in the opposite direction, right? Like I mentioned here, you can take buys, but you could also take sells in the opposite direction as it comes down. So just looking at this right here, these, looking at these right here, if this doesn't end up breaking, closing past the structure, what could happen here is price can easily reject off this right here, come down this way, provide a sell signal. Like I mentioned right here, the complete opposite, rejection, sell signal. If we get that rejection, sell signal, and then it closes below here, then you do the complete opposite. Instead of taking the buy up there, you take the sell, and then you lock in another like 100 pips right here. So just keep that in mind. I mean, there's no one way to trade. You know, as long as you find something that works, like this we've been using for years, you can just keep applying it. It's just rinse and repeat. Same thing over and over again. Kind of similar with the snipe strategies, right? Same with the snipe strategies. We just look for the same thing every single time. We look for a rejection off the pivot. We look for a rejection off the structure. Once we have that, we take that sell, and you know, straight to TP right there, right? It's not that difficult, guys. Like a lot of people want to overcomplicate things, tell you that you need like 100 indicators. We have these indicators that I created. There's only like 3 or 4 indicators that we use max, all of the K2 indicators, and we use this day after day. And that's pretty much how everyone keeps on, like, you know, locking these profits, trading the same way that we all do each time. Braden said, bro, I can't even send you my profits from this strat right now. Oh, Braden, how much did you make? I'm curious. I want to see. So it looks like Braden locked in some nice profits. So I'm not sure if you guys follow the profits from yesterday, but these were the profits from yesterday. I posted it in the public group. So like Mark over here locked in about 385 off that. Billy locked in some pretty nice profits right here, about 400, 500. Sisu locked in about 900 yesterday. Lisa locked in about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 800 right here. If you add these all up, she traded gold. She scalped that, UK 100 and US 30. Who else was this? This was from Ivan. So nice work, Ivan. He locked in about 144. NTO, he locked in that NASDAQ scalp that I was calling yesterday during the live session. Billy again, some more profit. Cheryl over here locked in 700 off that. Her other account, she locked in 420. It was a slow day yesterday, so we didn't make that much profit, but I mean, profit's profit, guys. Like, these aren't even my profits. These are everyone else's. Shawn over here locked in some nice profit off that. Yeah, this was a Mark right here, or Alkin, actually. Alkin or Spencer, US 30. Right here, Mim is locked in about 729. And then Rami over here, 134. Owen over here, 1,000. Jet over here, about 100. And then me right here, 609. So it was a good trading day yesterday. Like Camel mentioned, these snipes are actually scare me. Like, the accuracy is too spot on. I walk away with profits like this can't be real. Yeah, exactly, guys. So, you know, just a reminder, if you guys want access to the indicator, because everyone is, I mean, you guys saw the profits here, right? Those aren't even my calls. Those are trades that everyone else is taking on their own. If you want access to these indicators, just go on the website, k2trades.com, sign up for the K2 strategy course right here, and then you guys will have access to it. And you guys can profit like everyone else here. You know, it's not just me profiting. It's majority of the people here actually profiting more than me. Damn, so Braden just sent me his profits. Braden's like, bro, I can't even send you my profits right now. He's like, cold. He's like, he's too icy. So he sent me right here. Look at these blues. Damn, for the day. Homie was over here scalping GJ. He scalped AU. So you guys can see it doesn't just work on US 30. It works on Forex pairs too. He scalped GJ, AU, EJ, some more EJ over here, GJ, and then all the way down. So for the day, he's been scalping like up the ass right here. He's been scalping all day. He locked in 2,224. So congrats to that, Braden. I'm assuming you're here in the live session, right? I mean, if you're not, let me just get you one of these horns as well. Because those are some nice profits, Braden. So Braden killed it trading on his own right here. He also took a little more right here. So he's been scalping all day. He's been scalping gold. He's been scalping GUs and scalping pretty much all these Forex pairs. So he's been doing pretty good, just killing it, guys. So congrats to that, Braden. I'm going to add these to the list. So if you guys have profits that you guys want me to share in the public groups, just send them over to me. And you guys can see here that I save everyone's profits. You know, doesn't matter if it's big profit, doesn't matter if it's little profit. You know, we're all celebrating here in K2 because as long as you guys are profiting, that's all that really matters. You know, actually, I got to show my profits too. Let me see what's good over here. I haven't showed mine yet. So let me see this real quick. All right, so from the 12th, or actually, I guess we could do from the 13th, I guess. Yeah, let me just see if I could add this on here. February. Yeah, so it looks good so far on mine. So I'm just going to screenshot this real quick. I'll show you guys my profits right here as well so you guys can see what's good on my own account. Because like I forgot what what's his name, Harry mentioned yesterday. He was like, you just show everyone else's profits. You don't even show your own profits. I'm like, all right, bro. Well, I'll show you my profits then, and then we'll see if I'm profiting as well. I don't know. I just find it funny when people come into the room and they try to say something stupid, and I prove them wrong, and then they get all quiet or they leave the room because they feel stupid. It's like, bro, there's a lot of people that like to just talk out of their ass, and it's like, bro, once I show you the proof, then what? So let me just show you guys this real quick. I'm just gonna screenshot this, and I'll just show you guys that we took this trade here, because I know people always want to like. There's always someone that wants to complain about something, right? It depends. If it doesn't matter if we hit TP or if we hit stop loss. There's always someone that wants to complain. It doesn't matter. They're like, oh, this is untrue. Like I forgot what Harry said yesterday. He said that we were lying because everyone keeps hitting profits and it's impossible for everyone to hit profits. I mean, if you sit in on all my live sessions, everything's recorded. Like I can't lie about anything because you guys can go back and just fact check me, right? Everything I say here is recorded. So you guys can go back and rewatch like any live stream and see what I've said there. And you guys will see. All right. Anyway, so scalp right there and say another. So I'm just going to go ahead and post this up real quick, and then I'll set my profits. So I'm posting that right there in the premium. And then I'm going to go ahead and send my my profits following it, so you guys can see that I actually took those trades for the people that don't believe this, which I find hilarious, because I find it so funny when people don't believe these trades we're taking. When I take them live with you guys, like I analyze the trade, I call it live, I take it on my account, then I show profits, and then it's the same argument. Everyone's like, oh yeah, that's not legit. I mean, how's it not legit? All right, so here, let me just post that up right there. So here are my profits, guys, for the day. So like I mentioned, I have 2 FTMO accounts. I got one right here. Sorry, I changed it. Like one of the dates got added yesterday. So this was last night. That's why, because I just wanted to include last night's. So I made about 1,000 from last night until today on this account. I made about another 1,200 on this account as well for 2 days. And then this is my personal Hugo's Way account. I took the same trades. So I made about 200 off that. So in total, I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty good. Because if you add those together, let's see. So we have this one right here, and this is just one day, guys. If you do this every day, it just adds up to 1,233.70 plus 1,209.51. So I already made 2,000 for the day off these 2 FTMO accounts, and then my personal account right here, I made another 233.88. So I made a total of 2,600 today, guys. So, I mean, whoever wants to fact check this, go ahead and fact check it. See the trade I called right there? That trade, it's right there. You can see it. And then the trade last night, for whoever wants to complain about that trade too and say I didn't take that trade. So I took the trade right here. There's a price, 31,691. What's that right there? 31,670. It's only a 10 pip difference because FTMO is different. I took that trade right there, full TP. So, I'm completely transparent with you guys here. So whoever wants to complain, you keep bringing those complaints, and I'm gonna keep proving you wrong. Because, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys, So that's that. Other than that, I think we're good. I'm just looking for another scalp here. Let's see if this is still pushing down. Yeah, the daily entry hasn't even filled yet, so it's still pending. And then, I'm still waiting for this right here to hit as well. So when it comes back up, we'll take a scalp. If not, we're just gonna keep sitting tight and waiting for this. Nice, Braden. So nice work on that, Braden, on those profits. Let's see who else sent profits in here as well. Nice. Owen over here locked in 1,523. He took odd USD, gold, GJ, and then that US 30 call that I just made right now. So nice work on that, Owen. Congrats. Yeah, other than that, I mean, that's cool. All right, guys. So I'm done with the Telegram. Let me go back to the questions over here. Let me see if there's anything else that we got to cover. Oh yeah. So I looked at the pace already. Renee, we're going to look at your NASDAQ real quick. So let's pull up NASDAQ. So I'll do a top-down analysis. I'll go from the higher time frame, then I'll move down to the lower one, just to see if there's any scalps available. So looking here at the NASDAQ, let me go on the 1 hour, delete everything off here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the zones. So here are the zones right here. So like I mentioned, I do the same analysis for everything, guys. It doesn't matter if it's Forex, doesn't matter if it's indices, doesn't matter if it's commodities like gold, same analysis. So I'm gonna go and draw these zones up for you guys real quick so you guys can see where these rejection points are. All right, so this is the NASDAQ right here on the 1 hour. I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator. So same exact analysis that I was discussing before, guys. You know, like I mentioned, we had a rejection off this point. We had a sell signal right here. On top of that sell signal, it was a break and close past structure, right? So price broke and closed past structure right here. As soon as that closes, you enter a short position right here. And I think the sweet spot for this is like 500 pips or something like that. So if you guys did take this trade here, looks like it might have hit TP or it's like right below it. It like just missed it. But this is pretty much the bias right here. We have a sell signal, and what we anticipate happening is for price to come down and test this structure right here. So it's probably going to keep dropping from this point for the NASDAQ 100. This is what I see happening right here. This is the higher time frame, the 1 hour. We're going to go on the 30-minute now. We'll see if there's any scalps that were available over here on the 30-minute. Let me go 30-minute real quick. Yeah, so going to the 30-minute over here, we'll go to NASDAQ. NAS 100, and then I'll just delete everything off here real quick, and then draw these zones on the chart. All right, so the most recent, let me see if there's a recent scalp here that you could have taken off this. All right, so it looks like the most recent scalp would be this green candle right here. So if I go back and rewind this right here, you know, using the K² snipe strategy for this over here, you can see the rejection off the pivot and rejection off the structure right there. So with the rejection off the pivot and the structure, you would take a short position right here for a scalp. And then I think the sweet spot for the scalp is like 250, I think, for NASDAQ. So 250 right there. If you let that run straight to TP right there, right? Like literally no drawdown. It went straight to TP. And if you wanted to keep running, it still hit TP again right there. It hit TP on that first candle, and then it came back down for another one if you didn't close out. So that's the most recent entry for NASDAQ. We'll go over to the 10-minute now, and I'll show you the same analysis for a snipe strategy right here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the momentum indicator or the zones real quick. And then we'll just draw these zones out real quick so that we can see, you know, where the entries would have been if you scalped this on the 10-minute, because some of you guys like to scalp on the 10-minute like me. Some of you guys scalp on the 30-minute. It really doesn't make a difference. It just depends on your risk, because obviously if you're trading on the higher time frame, risk is going to be a whole lot higher. So it's just really up to your preference. I know CT, if you're in here, I know you like to do it on the 30-minute, so that's pretty solid. You get some you get bigger profits, obviously. But I like to just get in and out. I don't like to mess with holding with these indices for too long because the market's kind of erratic. But anyways, just looking at this here on the NASDAQ, looks like the first scalp entry would have been this red candle right here. So if I rewind that, you can see that it rejects off the yellow and the green pivot right there and the structure. So we got a double rejection right here. This would be the first scalp off this. You take a short position right there. I think the sweet spot on the 10-minute is a little less. It's about 200, I think. So 200 pips right there. If you were to, and it would be right here actually, yeah. So the entry would be there on the close of the candle. If you took that trade right there, straight to TP with like literally no drawdown. It filled the trade and it went straight down. So there's the analysis there. So those are the two scalp entries that are most recent for the NASDAQ, 30-minute, 10-minute, and then the bigger breakdown right here. There you go. Full TP on the 1 hour as well if you took that trade right there. And I think it's going to keep pushing down even further to this next structure right here. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, if that's the case, we can probably catch some scalps as it comes back up, kind of similar to what we're doing for US 30 over here. So we're probably going to cancel that daily US 30 entry and just go for some scalps as it continues to drop even further. Let me see if there's any new zones here. No new zones. So this, yeah, this is just keeps dropping. Let me see if there's anything else here that I missed before we continue on. Brain said, I'm here, K2 baby. I know, definitely. Let's see what else we got over here. Mr. Idgelt said, you have a coupon code, I'm gonna enroll. So actually, guys, I'm probably gonna close up the enrollment for K2. So if you guys want access to the strategy, I've been telling you guys for like the past 2 months now, and it's gonna be the same thing like what happened last year, right? So last year we had a trial, the trial expired, I gave you guys warning, and then everyone wanted the trial after it expired. We're not gonna budge off that. Same with the signups here for the enrollments. I don't want I don't mind teaching you guys every day, but as you guys can see, this takes up it's way too much of my time, right? It takes up way too much of my time where everyone is able to make more profit than me. So if you look at the premium here, see, I made like 1,000 today, right? Which is not that bad. Don't get me wrong. $1,000 isn't that bad. But if you look at everyone else's profits here, like Owen made 1,500 just trading like a few trades, and Braden over here made 2,000, right? So the students are making more profit than the teacher, myself. So for me, I want to focus on trading too, so I can start making the big profits as well. Like don't get me wrong. The last time I mentioned this, I forgot who mentioned it, but I think it was 2 sessions ago. I showed my profit for the day where I was up 1,000, and someone was like, "You want more than 1,000? Like, why are you so greedy?" And I was like, "I'm not being greedy, bro. I'm just saying that like everyone else here is like making way more profit than me, and that's why I want to focus more on my trading." So that's why I'm thinking about closing down the signups at the end of this month. I don't know how long they'll be closed for, because if I just keep making more profit just trading on my own rather than teaching, then I'm just going to keep trading, right? Obviously, it wouldn't make sense for me to take time away from my own trading to keep teaching. But whoever's in K2, obviously you guys have mentorship from me. I'm not going anywhere for you guys. It's just I'm not trying to bring new people into K2, because it just takes too much time. When someone brand new comes into K2, I got to teach them everything, or I want to make sure that they know everything, like everyone else. And then it just takes time out of my session, out of my day, where I have to go teach, and I could just be trading on my own. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you guys want to sign up to K2, just go on the website and then sign up here at the K2 strategy course. Once this closes, I don't know when it's going to reopen. So I mean, you guys keep asking me to reopen it, but I'm probably not going to reopen it, because as you can see here, if I'm making this much profit daily, just, while I'm having mentoring sessions all day long, imagine how much I'd be making if I was just trading all day long without teaching. So just keep that in mind. And we'll see how it goes. Because if I do close, it'll probably be closed for a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe a year. It just depends on how the market moves. If the scalping market continues to be, if it continues to be good every day, then I'm probably just going to keep scalping. It just makes no sense for me to take time away from the charts. But just keep that in mind, guys. And if you guys haven't already, if you guys can like the stream and follow the follow the YouTube, that would definitely help. And then if you guys want to sit in on my mentoring session later today, I have one today at 4 o'clock with RJ. So if you guys want to sit in on that session, just make sure that you like the stream and you guys follow the YouTube and turn on notifications. That way, YouTube knows that you want to watch my videos, and they'll send you an email when I go live, because I go live about 3 to 5 times a day, and I don't post those links. So if you guys want to sit in on those sessions, just make sure that you like and subscribe to the YouTube, so that YouTube will send you an email whenever I go live. All right. So anyways, let's go back to the analysis over here. I think that's it for all the questions. That's it for the questions here. We have, I went over NASDAQ for Renee, and then I think that's about it. If you guys have any other questions, put them in the chat and I can analyze it for you guys here live on the chart. Otherwise, I'm just going to be looking for some scalps, because I want to catch some of these scalps here. I'm going to look at the other indices as well, because obviously we're just looking at US 30 here, but this scalp strategy works on all assets. It works on all the Forex pairs. It works on all the indices. It works on all the stocks. It works on all the commodities. If there's something here that you're curious about, if you want to see if the strategy works, just send me a random pair. It doesn't matter if it's a pair that I've never looked at. I can still analyze it, because these strategies work on everything. It works on Bitcoin. It works on XRP. It works on all these cryptos. It works on anything. So we're going to be looking out for any entries here. So let me go through the chat real quick, see if there's anything that I missed before we continue. So Eric mentioned UK 100 may have a setup forming. So let me pull up UK 100 real quick. So here's the UK 100. I'm going to turn on the zones right here. So this is a big pair that a lot of people like to trade that are, located in Europe, because it kind of moves similar to NASDAQ. So if you guys like the NASDAQ and you guys are located in Europe, the UK 100 is a great alternative. But I mean, you can just trade the NASDAQ too. It doesn't really matter. So I'm drawing these zones up over here real quick. All right. So here's a setup right here. If you guys took, there's a couple entries here actually. So for the UK 100, there was an entry. The most recent one was this red candle right here. So I'm not sure if anyone took that trade. If you guys did, looks like it's still active. I think the sweet spot for this was like 150, right? Or 100. I don't know if it was 150 or 100. But if you guys did take this trade, I think this is the one that you just mentioned, right, Eric? So Eric just took another 2 scalps off the DAX 30. So I'll pull that up real quick. But anyways, just looking at UK 100 right here, if you guys took this trade here, this is the entering candle because it's rejecting off the, actually, no, I'm wrong. Sorry, guys. I thought I saw a rejection off a pivot, but there's no rejection off the pivot here. So the actual entry was right here. This is the most recent entry, this red candle, because it rejects off the red pivot and the structure right there. It rejects off this red pivot plus this structure. So if you wanted to take this trade right here, this would have been the entry. And it looks like it's on its way to full TP right here, depending if your TP was 150 pips or 100 pips. If it was 100 pips, you would have hit TP already, way up here. If it was 150, it's still running. It's currently active right now. So this is what I see right here for UK 100. Nice, nice. Saquon said he took, he took the DAX. So it looks like you guys are still looking at that. So ASD is asking, are you still in the US 30 daily or did you exit? So I'm not even in it yet. It's still pending. It's a pending buy stop right here. It never filled. I'm still holding it right now. Here, I'm just going to put an alert right here. If it hits the stop loss, then we're going to close it. I mean, we're not in the trade, so it wouldn't even hit stop loss. But if it crosses this point, close pending US 30 daily. All right, so for right there, we'll be watching this. Skinny Boy said, will you always stream live on YouTube after you stop accepting enrollments? Yeah, Skinny. So obviously I still want to help you guys. Like, don't get me wrong. I want to help you guys regardless, whether you're in K2 or whether you're not. So I'll still continue to have these live streams, but I'm probably going to have them less. So I'll probably have them like a couple times a week. For the people that are in K2 that are in the premium, I'll be doing it every day. You guys will have access to it every day. But for everyone else, it's going to be posted late. So I'll go live like maybe like Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the other days you guys will just get the late live stream. But I'm still gonna be here to help you guys, right? I'm not gonna go away. Like, I'm not gonna just disappear. I'm gonna be here helping you guys, even if you guys are in the public group. But I mean, for the most part, obviously the premium members are gonna have priority over things. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, going back to this over here, this UK 100 is about to hit full TP. And then it looks like Saquon and Eric hit a whole bunch of DAX entries over here. So let me pull up the DAX real quick. Oh, damn. Okay, so you guys took all these entries right here. Jeez. Now I'm jealous. I wish I would have taken those trades. I probably have to keep a look at all these right here. So if you guys look at the chat here, it looks like and Mr. Iglet, yeah, you do have time to enroll. Mr. Iglet, I don't know when we're going to close it, probably by the end of the month. But anyways, Saquon said German DAX is on its way to full TP for me. Eric said 2 more scalps for German DAX 30. Saquon said German DAX 30 hit full TP, 250 pips that he took. Nice, nice. Eric said he took another one right here as well. And yeah, it looks like you guys are killing it. Yeah, no problem. For Skinny, I'm still gonna keep doing these live sessions, so it doesn't matter. I mean, you're gonna be fine, Skinny. Just hang around, and we'll keep going live for you guys. But anyways, I'm just looking at everything that you guys are talking about right here. Saquon and Eric just killed Dax. So it looks like they took these 2 entries right here. So depending on which entries you took, this you guys went for 250. Wow, so you guys went for the big move. 200, I guess. Okay, so Eric said 200. So if you guys took that trade right there, there's one right there. There's another one right here. So if you guys took this trade, this would have hit full TP right here. If you guys took this trade right here, this would have hit full TP right here. And then Saquon and Eric took these other two trades right here. So it's the same exact requirements, guys. Rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure. So there's 3 entries right here, depending on, you know, which one you took. And, you know, going back to what we discussed yesterday with the stacking, this would be a good stack opportunity because it's trending down so heavily, right? So you can stack multiple positions. It looks like Eric and Saquon took 2 of these. So one right here, full TP right there. And this happened within like a 30-minute span, right? It's only been like 30 minutes since these entries appeared. So in 30 minutes, Saquon and Eric have locked in these profits right here. They've locked in this one, locked in this one right here. And then again, this one, if you took this trade, it's still active, but it's on its way to full TP. I'm kind of tempted to enter this late with you guys and just ride this back down because it looks pretty good for the most part. But damn, we'll check that out. Full TP, full TP, full TP. So congrats, guys. Congrats to you guys who took this trade. And this is what I mean about me getting about me being distracted, right? Because if I wasn't distracted going on these live sessions, I could just have taken these trades myself because I would have been watching them. But I mean, it's all good, guys. You know, you can't win every single trade. And that's why it's good if you guys know the strategy because you guys can take these yourself. Like Eric loves to trade the DAX, so he just like watches this all the time. I like to trade US 30, so I watch US 30 all the time. Some people like watching NASDAQ, so they just watch this as well. And, you know, that's pretty much it for those. They pretty much just watch those right there. Sam said, I understand the pivot, but how do you make the structure? So you use the K2SR indicator, Sam. So here, let's go to a clean chart over here and I'll show you what I mean by that. So let me just close this. Ah, fuck, I closed the wrong chart. Okay, hold on, let me fix that real quick. I closed the wrong chart. I closed a 30-minute. All right, so that's fine. All right, so this is fine here on the 30-minute. I think we're looking at the DAX. Yeah. So anyways, let me go over here real quick, and then I'll show you. I mean, it's the same way we draw the structures for everything else, Sam. You understand the pivots. To draw the structures, you need the K2SR indicator right here. You turn that on, and then there's your structures, right? So once you have those set up right there, I mean, all you do is you just draw your rectangles over it. And that's how you're able to identify these structures here. So that's it. You just draw your structure over it. You turn that off, and there's your structure right there for these entries right here. And then if you want the higher structures, obviously you can draw those as well. But I'm just showing you that this is how you draw your structures. You just turn on the K2SR indicator, and then you have access to them right there. And this is why these are important, because if you don't have the K2SR indicator, you're going to draw some random structures, right? So if you don't have that right there, like say, for example, you try to do this on your own, which a lot of people try to, and they fail on it because, I mean, if you want to draw these structures, you can draw your own. Obviously, you can do that. You know, you can draw your own right here. But how accurate are these, right? Because there's so many structures here that you can draw. There's so many wicks here. You can draw so many structures at any point, but how do you know which one's like accurate and which one isn't? So if you turn on the K2SR, you can see that they line up slightly. Like for this one right here, we drew this up here, but there's actually no structure right there. There's one right here, but it doesn't get it perfectly right. We get the small one. We don't get the entire structure. And then same with this one right here. We drew a structure up here, but in reality, the structure was down here. So just keep that in mind. If you guys are trying to do this on your own, I know there's a lot of people that want to try to do this on their own, but just be careful, because I've seen a lot of people try to do this on their own, and then they end up what's it called? They end up flopping, right? Because the structures are one of the most important things. Like the most important thing is obviously the pivot, but the structure is just as important, because if you don't know where the proper structure is, you could be entering the wrong trades. Like for example, here, if you saw this here, you might have taken the wrong position. And just keep that in mind. So that's pretty much it, guys. Other than that, let's move forward with this. So our US 30 right here is bouncing back up, it looks like. Let me pull up US 30. Yeah, it's finally pulling back up. And then we're just pretty much just waiting for it to swing back up so we can catch some more scalps in this way. Anyways, let me check this real quick. Let me check the chat for 1 second. Sorry, my freaking eyes are blurry. I don't know if my room's blurry or. So like literally when I got on this session, guys, I woke up, I hopped out of bed and I hopped right over here to my office because I started this session late. But let's see. Vishu said, "Oh my God, guys, the 1 minute time frame is crazy as good for those who want to make multiple smaller lot positions." Yeah. So Vishnu is talking about the 1 minute. Let's check that out real quick. Let's see. I mean, yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of positions here that you could have taken. I just, the 1 minute's kind of, you probably would have to change things up a little bit if you wanted to use the 1 minute. But I mean, I agree with it. Like if you want to take like really, really quick scalps, you can do that as well. But there's like way too many zones here, right? There's I mean, actually, they're not that bad. Like if you want to take these scalps right here, like for example, so these connect right there, and then these connect down here. Yeah. So anyways, going through here real quick, this, there's like a bunch of entries here that you could have taken, like just how like Vishnu was mentioning. There's one right here. If you want to take a quick scalp for a short position, you could have taken that. That's pretty nice, actually. 30 pips right there. And then again, right here, this red one, another one right there. This red one right here is as well. Another one right there. Actually, there's a lot of entries here. So maybe this is something that we got to look at, Vishnu. But yeah, no, definitely. These look pretty good. I mean, there's a bunch of entries. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Wow. There's like 20 entries here. But obviously you'd go really quick. You go for like maybe 100 pips, maybe 200 pips just to get in and out really quick. But yeah, this is pretty nice, Vishnu. I'm probably going to take a look at this later. This is something that I would be focusing on just trading on my own, right? Because I don't want to be on live stream and then answering questions and having to take these 1 minute trades. But this is pretty nice because you can literally just take trades really quick and then hop in and out as you see fit. But yeah, no, this is something to play around with. I'm definitely gonna, I'll probably rewind and I'll just play around on the 1 minute, see if I can catch some entries. If I can, then maybe this is something that I'll start doing on my own, or maybe I'll record myself and you guys can see me scalp live. But I'm probably not going to go on these live streams and obviously scalp on the 1 minute. This moves way too fast for me to be answering questions and to be trading at the same time. But all right, so let me go back to the chat real quick, see if there's anything else here before we continue on. All right, cool. Hey, Akeem, how's it going, bro? Akeem said, what's your setting for the pivot? Never mind, just saw it. All right, cool. Yeah, the settings for the pivots are just default. They're just 8, 13, 34, and 55. That's it's just default settings for the pivots. Roland said, what's up, Shawn? Quick question on your FTMO. I know you use 1.0 for scalps, but what do you recommend for other entries? Or do you utilize one of... So it depends on what type of strategy you're applying, Roland. Obviously, if you're taking a bigger move, then you would take a smaller lot size. But if you're taking like the scalps, it just makes sense for me to take one standard lot because I'm taking multiple positions. But I mean, that's pretty much what I use for the most part because it keeps you within a good range, Roland. And you just want to make sure that you're within the daily limits, right? Because that's the main key. It's like don't pass your daily limits, and as long as you stay below it, you're fine. So just depending on what your daily limit is on the 100K, it's 5,000. So like for example, if I'm trading here, let me just put this here. So these are my so if you're trading FTMO 100K count, you're gonna have a 5K daily loss limit, right? So if you're doing a standard lot for scalps, standard lot for scalps, 500 pips, right? That's gonna be 500 risk per trade, obviously, right? If you're doing standard lot for daily entry, 1,500 pips, that's going to be 1,500. Sorry, let me fix this. 1,500 risk per trade. So, you just do the math. Like basically, if you're trying to take different trades, you just want to make sure you're below the 5K daily loss limit. That's why for my scalps, I only risk 500 because, like, for example, if I'm taking like, I don't know what's a good number, like 15 scalps a day, right? It's 15 scalps a day times 500. That's going over the limit, right? Or I mean, you can make that much profit, but we're looking at this from like worst case scenario. So like worst case scenario, I'm obviously not taking like 15 trades a day. I'm taking like 5 trades a day. So 5 times 500, I'm only risking like 2,500. I'm way below the daily loss limit. And if you want to toss in a daily entry there, you just add another 1,500. I'm only at 4,000. I'm still below the daily loss limit. So just keep that in mind. It just depends on what you're trading. You need to figure out how much you're risking, because whenever you enter a trade, you want to know 100% what's going on with that trade, like worst case scenario, best case scenario, before you actually enter it. So for me, I use a standard lot for my scalps. I also use a standard lot for my daily entry because I'm taking multiple trades a day. So it just really depends on like what you on what you'd like to use off that. But I mean, it just really depends. It's really up to you how you want to use it. But that's pretty much what I use for myself. All right, so let me see what else we got over here. Billionaire Mindset said you're a good man, Shawn. Yeah, no, definitely billionaire. Thanks. Eric said 1 minute isn't bad at all. Good call. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to take a look at that, Eric. Vishnu said risky, but an easy 10 to 15 pips. I mean, 150. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that too, Vishnu. It's something that I could definitely take on. Flynn said, will you still do Clubhouse live scalping with the K2 fam in the future? Yeah, possibly. Well, Flynn, for you guys in the premium, if I'm scalping on the 1 minute, I'll go on the Zoom for you guys. I'm just talking about the public group, right? For the public people that aren't in K2, I'm not going to live stream with them because we're just going to get too many questions. But for you guys in the premium, you guys can still watch me trade live. I'm just not going to be answering questions. So you guys will see me here. I'll be trading live. But you're just going to watch me trade. I'm not necessarily going to be answering your questions or going into any details. Nice. So Kristen said US 30 setup. So let me check real quick to see if there's zones down here. So there's no zones just yet, Kirsten. What we're waiting for is for price to, like this setup right here. We're looking for a rejection off the structure and the pivot. So once we get a rejection off the pivot and the structure like that, that's where we'll take the trade. Right now we're getting a rejection off the pivot, but not yet off the structure. So what we're waiting for here is just for structure to, because as price moves along, there's going to be new structure that gets built up, right? So for example, here, if price comes up, and then say if price ends up rejecting directly off this wick right here, right? If it rejects off the same exact price, then it's going to create a new zone within that area. That's how the K2SR zones work. When price comes and tests the same exact price point, it identifies like algorithmic trading, like by the institution. So when the institutions trade at that same exact price point, it'll create a zone right there. And then that's where we can start taking trades. Oh, gotcha. 1 hour zone. So Kirsten, if you're, well, I'm assuming you're scalping on the 1 hour, right? Because if you're trading on the 10 minute, if you're scalping on the 10 minute, we only use 10-minute zones. If you're scalping on the 30 minute, we only use 30-minute zones. But if you're scalping on the 1 hour, that's completely fine. It's just, let me just pull it up and see what you're looking at. Because I'm not sure if there's, well, I don't really scalp on the 1 hour. 1 hour is kind of crazy. I'm not sure if you normally scalp on the 1 hour, but the movement on this is like, it's crazy. Like you have to have a big account to, yeah. So I don't see an entry here either, Kirsten. For me right here, you would need the rejection to happen off the pivot and the structure. So if you're using the snipe strategy, you'd have to use it on the specific time frame. So for example, here, in order for this to be an entry, this would need to come up and test one of these pivots. Like it'd have to reject off one of the pivots and the structure in order for there to be an entry right there. So let me just show you an example here on the 1 hour. Because I think there's one here possibly. Let's see if there's one that we could have. Let's see. Okay, so there's one right here actually. So I'll just show you an example here. It's the same thing. It's just on the 1 hour. But we don't necessarily take these off the different time frames. So let me just replay this to here. So from this point right here, we're on the 1 hour. And you can see that these candles right here reject off the pivot and the structure, right? So there's actually a bunch of entries here. This works on the 1 hour. It's just that you'd have to use the pivots and the zones off that specific time frame. So for example, here, this green candle right here rejects off the pivot and the structure. So that's an entry. This red candle right here doesn't, because the body touches the pivot. This green one right here, it touches the pivot, this orange pivot, and the zone. So it touches both and rejects off it. So you would take a long position like somewhere right here. And since you're going to be trading on, the 1 hour, your range is going to be a lot higher. So instead of going for 500 pips, you might go for 1500 pips because it moves a lot faster. And if you were to take this trade, I mean, obviously it would hit full TP right there. And that's the same setup. So if you took this trade right here, that would have been full TP. If you took this setup right here, this would be full TP as well. So it just really depends on which one that you're using. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. So Kirsten said, oh, it makes more sense. No, I don't. Thought you could clone the zones from higher time frame. So you can use that for a different strategy, Kirsten. You can use that if you're using the K2SR strategy. But for the snipe strategy, since we're scalping, you want to use just the ones on that specific time frame. So if you're using the 1 hour, just use the 1 hour zone and pivots. Vice versa. If you're using the 30-minute, you do the same thing here as well. You just you line that up, you turn on the zones, and then you can take entries off here as well if you're on the 30-minute. And then, just vice versa with all the other ones as well. So like, for example, here on the 30-minute, if you saw this, you would have seen that price would have rejected off this structure right here and this pivot. So if you took that trade there, I mean, this would have been a nice win as well. So rejection off the yellow pivot, rejection off the structure. You take a long position here. This is a 30-minute. So you might want to go a little higher as well, maybe like a 1,000 pips instead of the 500 because of the bigger range. But if you were to take this trade as well, looks like it would have hit TP right there as well, right? So, I mean, it works both ways. It just depends on which one you're trading on. So let's go back to the third. Okay, so we're going to cancel, guys. I'm going to cancel the US 30 position. Let's see. Let me just update this. I'm going to copy one of these little things here. There we go. Let me just give you guys an update in the chat. US 30 position update. Cancel your pending US 30 buy stop. Price is too far below. All right, guys. Let's give you guys an update right there in the chat. Damn, look at Cheryl over here. Cheryl said 2 FTMO accounts in limbo, so I'm just scalping away this morning. Nice. Nice work, Cheryl. Cheryl locked in about 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. Wow, she locked in well over 1,000. She was scalping the DAX 30, UK 100, NASDAQ 100, US 30, S&P 500, just scalping everything, right? Oh, nice. I like your name change right there, making it with K2. Nice work, Cheryl. Some great work right there. Let's see if there's anything else here as well. Camel said, whoever Eric S is on YouTube, add me. Need that type of energy in my life. Let me tag Eric in there. Eric, where you at? Oh, Eric, are you not in this chat? I don't know. I don't see you on here. But Eric, Camel's responding to you over here in the premium. So that's pretty much it. And yeah, no problem, Kirsten. Kirsten said, thank you. Know where my mistakes would have been. Yeah, definitely, Kirsten. So, you're brand new to K2. You just signed up last weekend. So like, you still have a lot to learn, and I'm here to help you, So if you have any other questions, feel free to pop them up in the chat or here in the live session, and I can answer for them. I can answer them for you live. Because I'm here to help you guys out, right? I'm here to just pass on this knowledge. Obviously, you guys can see here that I know how to trade, and I profit daily with everyone else here in the crew. So I'm here to just share this knowledge, guys. Like, I'm not here to hide anything. I show you guys the same exact strategies I use. I trade it live. I show you guys how I take the trades, and like, I don't hide the ball. Like, literally everything I do, I show you guys, and I just want you guys to succeed. Like, this trading game has literally changed my life, and I want it to change your guys' life too. And you guys can learn the same way I do everything. It's all about just like following the requirements and just following what I teach, and you guys can be as profitable as everyone else in K2. So, Ferris said, just realized you'd post the signals and the premium as well. Should have just enrolled for the indicators. Yeah, Ferris. So the same trades that I call here, the same trades that I call for all of these here are using the same strategies that I'm showing you guys here on the live session. You guys don't need the signals. Like the signals are if you don't want to do the work and actually do the. I'm gonna send Eric the. Oh, nice, Eric. I just saw your profits here for the DAX. Wow, wow. Okay, nice work, bro. So Eric over here locked in about 895 for the DAX 30. This is Eric in the chat, in the YouTube chat, who's been talking about the DAX. So if you guys want to question Eric about if he's taking these trades and just calling them, he's actually taking the trades. Guys, it's funny. If you guys were in the live session yesterday, I just find it so funny that people say things like that, like, oh, you're calling trades, but you're not actually taking them. Like Eric here isn't even me. This is just Eric. He's a member in K2. He was calling those DAX trades, and look at his profits. He's been killing it. So, and you can see I'm even on the screen right here. So he's watching my live session while taking these trades, while calling the DAX trades as well. So, great work on that, Eric. Let me send you the link real quick for the premium. I forgot that you might not have them. So let me just send you your links real quick, and then you should be good to go. Man, it's just funny, right, Eric? Because I know all you guys were like responding to that one guy yesterday. And then here's your profits. It shows everything that you guys have taken. So I sent you the links right there, Eric. You should be good to go. Let me see if there's anything else real quick. Gerald said, Shawn, Don, you over there in Cali giving out pips like it's Christmas. Yeah, so it looks like Gerald over here missed his trade. He just saw this right here, the full TP off those scalps. He said, I saw it when you said you were going live, then I get distracted arguing with this damn knucklehead ass girl. Yeah, it's all good, Gerald. We'll catch some more. That's not the only the only scalps that we'll be taking today. So let me check real quick to see if there's anything else that I'm missing. All right. Other than that, I think we're good to go. So let me just load everything up real quick to make sure everything is here. But anyways, guys, for US 30, we canceled our daily entry because it's just dropped way too far down. Now we're just scalping. We're waiting for some scalp entries. When that does appear, I'll call some scalps for you guys too, so you guys can take these trades with us. Man, I'm like, I saw all those profits from Eric. It makes me want to trade the DAX now. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna keep going back and forth between these pairs because I'm not gonna miss these DAX entries now. I'm gonna catch these with you guys. So DAX right here, it's currently within a zone. It looks like. Yeah, it's currently within a zone. So as it swings up, I'll try to catch these with you guys. This is what I'll do. I'll set an alert right here. So when the DAX touches a pivot, I'll know, and then it'll send me an alert. So we'll be looking at the DAX. We'll be looking at NASDAQ as well. Let's see. NASDAQ is too far down. I'll send an alert here anyways. So I'm going to try to scalp all these with you guys, and then I'll try to call these live as well as we watch. Let me see if there's anything else. S&P. I'll just set alerts for all of these guys. So I'll set alerts so when price comes up and tests the pivots, we'll be waiting for these trades here. So I did call, I have NASDAQ, I have S&P, UK 100 is the next one. Damn, so you guys are killing it, guys. Like, you guys are actually catching all these trades here while I'm here on the live session, which is great. I like that because you guys are just killing it. So right here, I'm gonna set another alert here for the UK 100. So when this does hit, it'll let me know. And then we can probably catch some more scalps off this as well. Biko is asking, how are you drawing the structure lines? What tools you're using? I'm using the K2SR indicator, Biko. It's the same thing I've been using. Like, the only indicators I use are the K2 indicators, right? These are the only ones. I don't use any of the other mess that everyone else uses. Because if you use something that everyone else is using, you're not going to have an edge in the market because odds are if you're trading like everyone else, the institutions and market makers are going to do the complete opposite. So just keep that in mind. That's why I created my own indicators that do their own thing that I need. But let me go ahead and see what else we've got over here. So I think that's it for this one, UK 100. And I think that those are all the scalps that we're really looking for here. So other than that, I'm gonna go back to US 30 and we're just gonna wait for some more here. Damn, look at this nice drop right here. So if you guys took any of these scalps up here that we took today, nothing but profit for everyone in the crew. And it's crazy. Saquon said, man, this is like robbing a bank. Right? You guys are killing it, dude. You guys are all killing it. And I'm glad to hear that, guys. I'm glad to hear and see that because that's my main goal here at K2. I'm here to pretty much turn all you guys into profitable traders. And if you go back to all of our history here with all of our saved messages, I'm sure I'm achieving that with you guys this year. Like if we scroll up from if we go back to like January 25, Cheryl, 2,000 pip profit. Go back to January 4th, Tam over here. I don't know where Tam's at. I haven't seen you in a while, Tam. I don't know if you're in this live session. You might be busy at work or on vacation somewhere. We go back to December. Aaron over here, NASDAQ 100. So, this is my goal here, guys. My goal here is to create profitable traders, right? Look at Charles over here. That was crazy. So for the week, I remember this was a crazy week, like first week of December. His first week of his funded K2 account, the 50K, this dude locked in 18,000. Can you believe that? This is back when US 30 was WS 30. He was taking my daily entries and just going heavy, dude. Because we just kept hitting our TPs and he locked in crazy profit off that. So, it's cool to go back and just look back at these crazy profits because I've been helping people trade for like, was it years now? And we could go back like September 10, Masha over here locked in, with her US 30. Everyone over here, there's so many profits here. Like we go back to, dude, August 31 of 2020. Pulat over here, a couple $100. ARC over here, $319. And I've been doing this for a while, guys, and I plan on continuing to do this. I want to make sure that everyone's profitable because, this is a game that can be won. It's just you guys got to learn from someone that actually knows what they're doing. But yeah, that's about it for these guys. Let me go ahead and see what else we got over here real quick. I'm going to zoom through the Forex pairs. Oh, Biku is asking what trading view tool. So to draw these zones right here, Biku, I use the rectangle tool. So go here to this drop-down menu right here, where it's the geometric shapes. Go to rectangle, and then you can draw them like that. Normally, this is what your rectangles look like. This is what it'll look like. But if you want it to extend across the screen, just click extend right, extend left, and that's how you will set up those zones. But let me go through the chat real quick. I'm going to go through the chat really quick. And then after that, rectangle, I'm going to go ahead. Sorry, I'm going like that. There we go. Sorry, guys. I just muted the Zoom. I didn't realize everyone was on here. But anyways, let me go through the chat real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and go through these Forex pairs because we have the Forex candle closing in about an hour. So we want to make sure we don't miss any Forex trades as well. Even though I know most of you guys don't care about these Forex trades, you guys just want to take my scalps. But for the people that still trade Forex with me, I will be calling some trades for that as well. Let's see, Cameron over here. So Cameron said his first $1,000 day, K2 ain't no joke. Nice. Congrats, bro. So Cameron over here locked in for the day, $1,099, scalping US 30 and scalping gold right there. Nice work, bro. You killed it, man. Great work. This is what I love to see, guys. I love to see when you guys are profiting, using what we use here, just to show you guys that it actually works, right? I know this is kind of unbelievable for a lot of you guys that are new here, but if you guys have been watching my live streams for the past year now, we do this every single morning. This is nothing new. It's the same thing every single day. And we're going to continue to keep doing this. But anyways, let me go through the chat real quick and see if I missed anything else before we continue on. So let me continue over here real quick. Let me see what I missed here in the chat. So Mr. Iglet said, what's the scheme after the enrollment? Because I live in Sweden. I guess you live in US. So that time time doesn't really matter, Mr. Iglet, because you're applying the strategy on your own. You don't have to depend on me calling trades. You could just take these trades on your own. Saquon said, "Ain't no stream, bro. Ain't no scheme, bro. Once you're in, you get comfortable with the system. The sky's the limit." Exactly, I agree. Assad's asking, how would you work it out for a 70K GBP? Assad, so sorry, I'm not really sure what the price, like, you, because I use US, right? So you'd have to use a converter. So you just use a dollar converter. Let me see if I could look this up right here. Let's see, GBP USD conversion. So like, I mean, if you're doing 70K, it's US dollars. So it'd be a little less because you have, it's less than 100K if you're using 70K pounds. So sorry, I did go over that earlier. I missed your question, but the difference for this is you just use a lot size that would limit below your daily loss. Because I'm not sure what your daily loss is, Assad. If you can provide like your daily loss and provide all the details, maybe we can run through it. But until then, we're probably it's gonna be too much work for us to go and do the math for you just to figure out what the GBP is. Yeah, because honestly, I was gonna try to do the math right now, but I honestly don't even know what your max loss is, and I don't know what the conversion would be between the US dollar and the GBP. So just make sure that you use a decent lot size. Don't use like a standard lot. You probably would have to use something less, like maybe a 0.70 or maybe a 0.50 or something like that. But we just got an alert here for S&P. Let me see if there's an S&P scalp coming up right now. No S&P scalp yet because there's no zones down here. So we'll keep watching for that. And let me go through the chat real quick and see if I missed anything else before we continue on. Billionaire Mindset said, "You're the only one that ever taught me about IG sentiment." Thank you for that. Yeah, definitely, Billionaire. And I'm glad you're here too, because you've been making profits with us so far. All right, so like Assad said, daily loss is 5K, profit target is 7. Dang, that's such a weird breakdown for your, okay, there you go. Yeah, I was like, that's like a huge, it's a huge difference. So, okay, so Assad, I'm gonna try to help Assad out real quick with this. So let's see, his FTMO is, so let's see, 70K GBP. Okay, so this is gonna be kind of hard for me to even look at, Assad, because the thing is, I'm gonna have to figure out what your lot size is worth. So you're gonna have to provide a little more detail. So here, I'll just try to break it down for you. 70K GBP FTMO. Your daily loss limit, or yeah, 5K daily loss limit. Your profit target doesn't really matter, so we're just gonna keep that in mind. So if you have 5K, you're gonna have to figure out these numbers on your account because I'm not sure what yours would be. So if you're doing a standard lot, so if you're doing, you got to figure out for a standard lot how much money per pip, right? If you can figure that out, I can help you out more because for me, obviously for the US dollars, it's going to be a standard lot off US 30. We'll keep that as the number. Standard lot for US 30. I don't know how much is it per pip for a GBP. So that's something that you would have to figure out and give me that number because I'm not sure what it is, but for US dollar measurement, standard lot for US 30 is going to be $1 per pip. So I'm assuming yours might be a little more. I just don't know exactly what yours would be. Like for me, it's $1 per pip. So like for me with the US, if I'm going 500 pips, it'll be a 500 risk, right? That's how much I'd be risking. For you, for the GBP, I'm not sure how much is it per pip. For US dollar, it's $1. That's why I can come up with the numbers for US dollar. But for the GBP, I don't know how much it would be per pip. So if you can get that number, I can go a little deeper into this. But I personally don't know because I don't trade on a GBP account. So I don't know how much pounds are worth per pip for US 30. So Assad, if you can figure this out, I'll keep this on the chart just in case, like once you figure it out. But once you figure it out, then I can answer it for you. I just don't know what the number is. You would have to just message FTMO and ask them directly to give you the exact number. But I only know this because this is what I trade. So sorry I couldn't help you any further, but if you do find this information, I can help you further. So just keep that in mind. If you want to work on that, you guys can. I'll probably be on this live for another hour. So I'll be around, Assad. Unless you want to ask me this tomorrow, I'll be here tomorrow as well. All right, anyway, so let me go back to the chat over here real quick. I'm gonna see if I missed anything else as we continue. So Skinny Boy said, Shawn, GJ is setting up for a sell. What are your thoughts about this entry? So let's analyze GJ on the higher time frame first, and then I'll go down to the lower time frames as we make our way down. So I'm gonna do the same requirements here, or I mean the same breakdown analysis. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out from here, turn on the K2SR. Draw that zone right there. Draw that one right there. Draw that one right there. And then we got a couple more over here as well. All right. All right, so we're good right there. We have these lower zones for GJ. We need the higher zones as well. So we'll go on the 8 hour. There's nothing there. We'll go on the daily. There's nothing there. We'll go on the weekly, and there's something there. All right, cool. So it looks like GJ is currently within the zone right now. All right, so this is a little risky here because there's a zone within a zone. I'm just gonna draw this little line here so we can see that. And then above that, there's another zone above here. So I'm gonna go on the 4 hour right here. Looking at GJ on the higher time frame, it looks like it's gonna continue pushing up, Skinny. So like basically right here, if this ends up closing above the structure right here in the next 48 minutes, so there's 48 minutes left on this candle. If it ends up closing above there, it's probably going to continue pushing up from this point right here to test that structure. And the reason for that is we turn on the K2 momentum indicator. And it's the same pattern that I drew up for you guys yesterday. Rejection off this structure. We have the buy signal right here. We have the break and close past structure right here. So it's the same pattern that I've been drawing for you guys, right? I mentioned that we have the rejection, buy signal, break and close past structure. It breaks into this structure right here. As soon as it breaks and closes past this structure over here, it pushes up to the next structure right here, right? It's the same pattern. It just keeps repeating itself. And then again, right here, we have another break and close past structure. If it does close above here, it's going to push up even higher to here. And one thing that you guys got to keep in mind is that once it reaches this point, it can do one of two things. It can either continue pushing up higher, or it can reject off this point right here, right? There's two scenarios that can play out right there. Again, right here, if this doesn't close right here and it ends up pulling back down, then this can easily reject off this point as well. So there's a bunch of different scenarios here that can play out for GJ. I mean, obviously, if this candle right here closes above, it's going to keep pushing up, and you can take that buy for like a little scalp up here. I mean, it's not that little. It's like 65 pips. Actually, a nice little move if you wanted to take that trade. So I'll be watching this as well on my own end, Skinny. So like maybe in the next, fuck, got all these alerts that came up all of a sudden. Oh my God, what happened to this? Let me go back to GJ again. Sorry, guys. That happens sometimes where the, what the fuck? I'm so confused. What the hell? That's so weird. All right. Well, I guess got to redraw everything again. I don't know what happened. I literally just clicked out the chart and then everything just deleted. Oh, okay. No. Let's go back. Let's go back. Damn it. All right, whatever. It's all good, guys. I'm just gonna have to go. Let me just refresh it. Maybe that'll fix it. What the? Okay, I don't know. You guys saw what happened on live. That was weird. Everything kind of just erased off the chart. Anyways, it's not a big deal. Let me just redraw everything again. I'll do it real quick. That was weird. That's never happened to me before. Where the chart kind of just kind of like went all over the place. I think it was because of that alert. That alert came up and I accidentally clicked on it, and then it ended up screwing up the entire chart. But it's all good. It doesn't take that long. You guys can see here, you know, even if your chart gets screwed up like that, it's not that difficult for you to just come back on and then redraw everything within a few seconds. But anyways, sorry about that, guys. Let me go back to the weekly over here. It's above there. And then back to my analysis here for GJ. All right, so whatever happens sometimes. But anyways, back to my analysis back on the 4 hour. So like I was just discussing earlier, so basically right here, we have the rejection off this point. We have the buy signal right there next to it. We have the break and close path structure right here. So basically what we're waiting for here is for price to close past this structure. So if price ends up closing past this structure right here, odds are this is going to continue pushing up. So at that point, I would take a long position right here and then ride this up further for about 65 pips, which is not, it's not a bad move right there. You know, it's a nice little move, right? And it's not even a little move. It's a pretty nice move for 65 pips. And then that would be a nice little TP. So I'm going to mark this up on my chart right here. I'm going to flag it. And that's pretty much it on the higher time frame. Let's look at it on the 30-minute now to see if there's anything else that's available on here, which there probably will be. All right, GJ right here. I'll go ahead and analyze this here to see if there's any scalps available. It doesn't look like there's anything really available right now, but hide this, fix this. I don't even know why I'm fixing that. Price is so high up. But yeah, just looking at this here, I mean, it's at a resistance, but there's no scalp entry here on the 30-minute. Let's go on the 10-minute to see if there's anything here. Let's go back to GJ over here. All right, yeah, so it doesn't look like there's any scalp entries available at this time for GJ. It just looks like if price ends up, reaching a certain point, you could possibly take that long position on the 4 hour. But looking here on the 10-minute and 30-minute, I mean, the last scalp entry was, I mean, there wasn't a scalp entry for a while, but currently right now price is at a resistance. Like I mentioned here on the 4 hour, if price ends up closing above here, it's probably going to keep pushing up. So you can keep an eye on that. Otherwise, there's just no entries available right now for GJ. I would just wait for this. Candle closes in 42 minutes. So in 42 minutes, you can decide whether you want to take this long position route right here. I'll be looking at it as well. So we'll revisit this in about 40 minutes, Skinny. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, other than that, let me check real quick to see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. Yeah, definitely. No problem, Skinny. Let me go up real quick and see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. All right, Kimmy said, "LOL, Eric, that 1.01 lot is funny to me. That 0.1 has means here's congrats, bro." Yeah, no, it happens sometimes. Matt said, "Not sure why Eric is using a 1.01 lot." John said he needed the extra 10% for coffee. Exactly, extra 1%. Let's see if there's anything else here as well. Eric said, "What's Forex?" Famous said, "Can you break down DXY?" Yeah, definitely, bro. So let's break down DXY for you, just to see where where the dollar is going, obviously, right? Because everyone's kind of concerned, what's going on with the dollar. So let's go ahead and draw these zones real quick. So let's analyze this one right here. We got this big zone right here. This big zone actually connects down here, so that's cool. We got this one right over there. Actually, this one right here comes down pretty far. There. This lower one over here. And then this one down here. All right, cool. So we have all these zones right here pretty much drawn up pretty solid. I'm going to go ahead and hide this right here. Next up, I'm going to turn on the momentum indicator. So the DXY looks like it's pushing back up, right? It's trying to make its way all the way back up. Let me check these zones again real quick. So you can see right here, all these red lines within the zone. This makes it a very dangerous area for you to really want to take any buys. So I wouldn't take any buys at that point, even though we have this buy signal right here, because what could happen is, see, if I zoom into these lines right here, these are all rejection points. So if you're looking at these like from this perspective, you can see that price can easily reject off here. It can reject off here, it can reject off here, up here, and all these areas right here, right? There's a bunch of areas that price can reject off. So it's not necessarily a place where I really would want to trade because, I mean, it's just too messy. It's too messy for me to really want to trade within. There's actually more zones that keep getting produced over here as we speak. I didn't see these earlier. But yeah, just looking at this right here, famous, just, you know, just looking at price right here. I mean, it can easily break above it. So just keep that in mind. Like these zones here are just, they're just markers, right? They're just markers indicating that rejections can happen with these areas. I mean, it's not guaranteed that it will happen. This can easily, just going off my analysis earlier, you know, we have the rejection off this lower zone. We have this pending buy signal. This buy signal hasn't even closed yet, but when it does close, we can determine, you know, whether if it's going to continue pushing up. So for this right here, if this closes above the structure right here, this can easily go up or it can swing back down. Because if you look back right here to what happened on this candle, it came up right here, right? It broke into the structure, and then it looks like it hit some resistance right here off this wick, and then it came all the way back down, right? So for the DXY, it's kind of risky to like determine which direction it's going. If I turn on the pivots right here, you guys can see that it was in an uptrend, then a downtrend, then it looks like it's trying to swing back up for back into an uptrend, right? So if this closes above this structure, it's going to close above this red pivot. So if that happens, my guess is that this is going to recover back upwards, right? That's kind of what I see happening for the DXY. One thing we can do is we can look at the CNBC real quick, and we can see if there's anything here that's pushing the dollar up, right? Because the dollar is obviously going up a little higher. Interesting. Yeah, I don't really see anything here as well. I just see, like, I don't see anything really pushing up the dollar. Maybe COVID updates. They have live updates right now. COVID updates. Moderna expects to deliver 100 million vaccine shots to U.S. in 6 weeks as new cases drop. Okay, cool. So this was just released about 57. So about 20 minutes ago, this news was released, mentioning that the COVID cases are starting to drop. So with that said, the US dollar is starting to increase, right? So I think, yeah, so this happened about, the push-up started happening about 4 a.m. this time. So the COVID update started coming in around 2 hours ago. So there's a lot of good COVID news, right? There's about 3 hours ago, that's when they released the news that they were going to release 100 million doses by the end of March, 300 million by July. So with all of this good COVID news, this kind of indicates what caused this push up for the dollar, right? Because about 4 hours ago, about 4 a.m., it's 9 a.m. my time. So about 4 hours ago, it had a huge push up. So with that said, if more COVID news comes out, that's good, because you can see there's live updates right now. As more COVID updates come out, this is probably going to continue pushing the DXY up, which is the dollar index. So just keep that in mind. And then, you know, we'll see how this ends up reacting to current price. But yeah, famous, just looking at the DXY right here, if this ends up closing above this structure from a technical analysis, this will continue pushing up. Vice versa, you know, including the COVID updates here as well. If good news continues to come out, the most recent news was 2 hours ago. There's probably gonna be more news like an hour or so moving forward as the day continues. This will continue to push the US dollar up and up. But if it fails to break this structure right here and close, then I think it's gonna swing back down. So just keep that in mind, famous. But we would have to see how price reacts to the break and close past this structure. That's the only way that we'll really be able to find out. And I think the DXY is on a different time as well for the 4 hour. So their candle closes in about 2 hours, actually. The Forex candles close in about 30 minutes. but the DXY, the indexes, they close in about 4 hours. So just keep that in mind. If you want to come back and look at this later, famous, just come back in about 2 hours. And just remember this price point right here. It's 90.587. If price closes above that price point, then it's probably going to keep pushing up. If it closes below it, then it's probably going to reject back down. So just keep that in mind for future reference. But this candle doesn't close for another 2 hours, 2.5 hours actually. The time's right here. All right, so let's go back to these scalps right here. I got a bunch of alerts that just came up real quick. Let's see, I have an alert for US 30. I have an alert for the DAX. All right, so the DAX here, there might be another entry coming. Eric, I'm not sure if you're watching this, but yeah, it looks like for the DAX, there might be a scalp entry coming if it rejects off one of these pivots. For US 30 over here, looks like there's no, nothing there. NASDAQ 100. Nothing there yet either. So it looks like most of the scalps were already taken for the day. The next one coming up is probably this DAX if it ends up rejecting off this. So we got about 4 minutes left on this candle. If it closes below the structure, I mean below the pivot for an entry like this right here, then you might be ready for another sell. But we'll wait and see how this plays out. Otherwise, let me pull up the chat real quick and see if there's anything else that I missed. Let's see. David said, London's closed. I'm out. Get off of here. Yeah, I know, definitely, David. I need to soon. Let's see if there's anything else here that I missed. All right, EuroCAD. So Kimmy said EuroCAD has an active buy. So Kimmy, let me pull up EuroCAD real quick for you. And let's see what you were looking at. All right, so let me just analyze this from scratch again. I'll show you guys, everything that we do here. Delete everything off this chart, zoom out, pull up the K2SRs. And then we got this one down here. So we got this zone down here, which is a bigger zone. There. Got this zone right here. Zoom that up a little bit. All right, next one is right there. There, this one is there, and then these two are right here as well. All right, cool. So just looking at EuroCAD right here, these are the zones that we've drawn up. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on the K2 momentum indicator here. All right. So we have a bullish bias right here. The main thing we're looking for is for price to break and close past structure, right? So we have that rejection. We have the buy signal right here. Next thing we're waiting for is for price to break and close past this structure right here for us to take this this buy entry. So if this happens right here, we'll take a long position right there, ride this up to full TP right here for 35 pips. And then we can determine whether we want to keep riding it up or if we want to close it out. So just using this right here as our analysis, I'll show you here for a previous entry, same exact thing that we just looked at. We have the rejection right here. We have the buy signal right here. It also breaks and closes past the structure. So when that happens, it pushes up to the next structure right here, right? It's the same exact pattern every single time. And that's what we're looking for right here. So Kimmy, for EuroCAD, I'd be waiting for this to close above this structure, which would be at 1.53817. As soon as it does that, you can take that trade. It's the same thing that's been playing out over here. It's the same pattern over and over again. We have a rejection. We have a buy signal. We have a break and close past structure right here. Pushes up to this next level. And then same situation here. It's the same exact pattern that just keeps repeating itself, guys. There's nothing new here. It's just the same thing. Rejection, breaking close past structure, buy signal, pushes up to the next one right here. So that's pretty much what we're waiting for right here. It's the same pattern every single time. We're waiting for it to break and close past the structure, and then we're going to catch it as it rides up right here. And then as that happens, it can either continue pushing up or it can reject off here, right? I mean, there's a couple different scenarios that can play out here, but it just really depends on how this plays out right here. So that's pretty much all I see right there, Kimmy, for this buy. But I would have to wait for this to close. This closes in about 30 minutes. So in about 15 minutes, I'll look through all the Forex pairs. I'll see if there's any entries. And then if there is, I'll call some entries for you guys in the premium. Otherwise, I will just keep looking for scalps until then. But let me keep going down the chat real quick and see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Mr. Itgelt mentioned, sorry, US 30. Okay. So Mr. Iglet said, how much deposit do I need to start with K2? I have a broker with a leverage of 1 to 30. Can I trade US 30 and NASDAQ with $500? Mr. Iglet, it just depends on your broker. You know, I'm not sure if your broker uses mini lots or if they use standard lots. If they use standard lots, then you would need at least 1,000 because that's the minimum for trading indices. If you're using a broker that uses mini lots, then you can use 500. That should be fine. It just depends on which broker you're using. If you're using something like, so here are a couple of brokers that I know of that people use for indices. So depending on where you're located, so these are standard lot brokers. Or I'll put common. So common standard lot brokers. So number one is Hugo's Way. You need like, generally it's a 1K minimum. Trade indices or trade US 30, I assume. Trade US 30 comfortably. All right, so for the common brokers, I mean, Hugo's Way is the main one that people use. Common, what's it called? Common mini lot brokers. So for this, one of the main ones that I do recommend is IC Markets, but it's like not non-US clients. You can use mini lots with them. The other one is FX Choice. And I think the other one is Coinbase. So with these right here, you can use a small account. You can use a 500 minimum. And same with not Coinbase, sorry, CoinX. It'll be a 500 minimum as well. So it just really depends on what you're using. Because I mean, I don't think you specified your broker, Mr. Itgelt. So, you know, depending on what you're using, if you're using a standard lot broker, I use this for my own personal Hugo's Way. Because in the US, we don't have many options, right? We have to use what we can get. And for mini lot brokers, IC Markets is one of the main ones for non-US clients. And then other ones are FX Choice and CoinX. So just keep that in mind. But if you want to check those out, you guys can. All right, Matt said, hey, Shawn, please take a look at US 30 10-minute time frame at 1850 and 1900 on February 15th. Wondering why it didn't sell. Okay, Matt, so let me pull that up real quick for you. All right, so there's actually an entry here for the DAX. I don't know if you took this, Eric. I mean, it looks kind of risky, so I don't know if I would take it, but it's kind of getting close to the end of the market. So guys, reminder, once it gets close to 10 a.m., we usually stop trading for a bit. We take a break because the market starts to move a little different. It moves in two impulses. It has one impulse down, and then there's another impulse up that happens usually for these pairs mid-session. So just keep that in mind if you guys are looking to take these trades. I probably wouldn't take this trade right here. I mean, if you guys want to take it, you guys can take it. This is a scalp here for the DAX. I don't trade the DAX, so I'm not really familiar with how it moves. I know for US 30 though, once it hits 1030, usually reverses. So that's why I think this is a risky trade. But these are the parameters if you guys decide to scalp it. I'm not sure if you're in it, Eric. Seems like you might be in it. But let me see. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you might be in this trade, Eric. Eric said, I'm fully vaccinated. I got in a trial and made 1,500 bucks. Nice. So Eric got vaccinated way before. It didn't touch on mine. So let's see. Yeah, so I was looking at this green one right here off this DAX 30. Eric, I'm using Forex.com data for this one. So like so guys, just a reminder, this is the level of accurate trading view data. All right, so first I use Forex.com. That's always gonna be number one. Forex.com is number one. Number two is gonna be currency.com. And And then lastly, it's going to be Owanda. I never use the other data. So this is the data that we use here. So if forex.com is available, I'll use forex.com data. It's pretty accurate. And then currency.com, if that's not available, and if these aren't available, we'll use Owanda. So it might be the data that you're using, Eric, but it did touch over here on this one, off this green one right here. This green candle. So that might be, I mean, that might be the difference, but I don't know. We'll come back and take a look at this later. But let me go back to Matt's question. So Matt wanted me to take a look at US 30 real quick. So let me pull up US 30. And Matt mentioned, take a look at US 30, 10-minute time frame, 1850 EST. Okay, so 1850, that would be 1550 my time on the 15th. Oh, so that was when the market opened, Matt. So the reason for, let me see, 1550 on the 15th. That was yesterday, right? So you can see here that there's a huge gap over here. So I wouldn't have traded within this area over here because you can see that market went from 10 o'clock to 15. So the market was closed for like 5 hours, right? When that happens right here, Matt, like you kind of want to take a break because this is similar to it closing for the weekend, right? Because it closes for so long. As soon as the market opens, it has like a spike in price and then it usually reverses, kind of what happened right here. This is why during holidays, we usually just hold off on trading. We don't usually trade off that. But let me just go back over here and I'll check real quick on the clean chart because I don't want to mess it up what we have there. So here's the 10-minute right here. I'm going to go back to that same one that you were looking at. You said the 15th at 1550. Okay, so right here, 1550. Let me just rewind it to this area right here, 1550. So looking at this right here, let me draw the zones real quick. All right. So I think we do have a zone right there, right? So we have a zone up here. We have a zone right here. And then we got a zone right here. Yeah, so I mean, if you were disregarding, you know, the whole time change because it was a holiday yesterday and the market was, when it reopens like that, you usually want to let it stabilize a bit. You just want to leave it alone and then let it stabilize, which is what I did. Because you can see right here, time went from 15 at 10 a.m. and it skips over 5 hours. So market was closed for more than 5 hours. And then at that point, you can see that there's a lot of like spikes right here, right? Because the market starts to, just reopen. And I don't think we could have even taken any trades during this time because our brokers, usually they close a little longer. So on FTMO, I don't think it was possible to even take this trade. But if you did take this trade, it looks like it would have been a loss, you know, unfortunately be a loss. But that's why when you have a loss that happens right there, you just go back and like figure out what was the problem. You know, the main issue here, I would say, would be that you try to enter like right when the market opened, which I mean, it's fine. You know, shit happens sometimes. You don't realize that that there's like other factors that play in. But if you did take this trade here for a sell, you know, obviously it spikes all the way up, right? Because the market was closed for 5 hours, it ended up spiking down, and then it just shoots right back up, right here. So I didn't take any of these trades right here. I just sat out. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw like in the session, I wasn't live at all, or I wasn't really looking at trades until like nighttime. So I didn't start looking at trades until like way down here, till it got to like this point, like 2000 hours over here. That's when I started looking for trades. But yeah, so just looking at this here, Matt, this would have been an entry. It's just the main reason for me not taking this is because the market was closed for 5 hours. Generally, you know, like when the market reopens for the weekend and it gaps like this, whenever it gaps, it usually fills that gap. So as obviously you can see right here, it gapped down, and then all of a sudden it just swings all the way back up to where it was supposed to go, right? Because it was, if you look at price before the gap, so if I rewind here, price was going up, right? It's clearly going up right here. And this is something that you probably wouldn't be able to spot this, but like for me, I'm like, all right, cool. It's going up right here, right? The market reopens and then it gaps way down here. So usually what happens is it just comes back and then it goes back to where it was supposed to go. So as you can see right here, it comes down a little bit. And then when the market fully reopens again, it's crazy because I marked it up perfectly right there. When the market reopens, it just goes back to where it was going earlier. Because if you extend this if you extend this trend line, it goes back, it pretty much just goes back like as if this never happened right here, right? This whole area right here, it's kind of like it never happened. It came down as market opened, and then as soon as it recovered or it corrected back up, it just went back to the same area where it was before market closed. So if you look at this here, it pretty much just lines up. You can kind of just ignore this area, and it goes back to where it was before the market closed. So I mean, that's just that's something that you probably wouldn't be able to catch right away, Matt, because obviously you're not able to see the same things I can see as easily. But you can see here that market closed for 5 hours, it reopened here, came down slightly, and then it went back to where it was supposed to go. So just keep that in mind. I mean, obviously, there's different ways to analyze this, but just looking at that perspective, that's kind of what I see happening here, or what happened there yesterday. So that's why it's kind of safer to just not trade during the holidays rather than risk it. But yeah, that's pretty much my analysis for that right there. Let me see if there's anything else before we continue. Famous said, in your course, do you break down structure? So I don't necessarily break down structure like that, Famous, because it's the same thing. I mean, we just, you've seen how I analyze everything, right? Breaking down structure is it's kind of like a common sense thing, like in my perspective. So I don't really go over it, but I can go over it with you because I do have one-on-one mentoring sessions. So, we could get on a one-on-one and I can show you, but that's a good idea. I should probably make another video explaining how I do that. Because like, for example here, so for example, if we were to trade US 30, right? So say if we're trading US 30, we just rewind it to a random time here in November. And then we have a structure right here. So I'm not sure if you're referring to like how to draw a structure. This is why I don't really teach it like that, because it's really simple, right? I just, here's a naked chart. I turn on the K²SR. And then we draw the structure there. So if this is what you mean, like, bare basic of drawing structure, this is the reason why I don't really teach this in detail, because it's not that difficult. It's kind of just, fill in the blank. You see the lines here where the structure is getting developed, and then you just draw your zones over it. So if you're talking about that perspective, then yeah, I don't really go over that. But if you're talking about the strategy where I was discussing this, where it breaks structure, this is an actual strategy. So if you want to learn how to do this, that's actually taught in the course. So let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. Let me see. This is like a specific strategy that we apply here for Forex, and not just Forex, but every other pair. But if that's what you were looking for, if you go here, this is going to be the K²SR zone trading strategy, which is for intraday and swing. So if you're looking for this specific strategy, that's taught there. But if you're just talking about like regular structure here, like how to draw these structures, I don't really teach it in that detail, but I should. So like, thanks for letting me know that, because now that you've mentioned it, maybe it's not so common sense as I think, because I do this every single day. So it just seems like it's second nature. Like I don't even have to think about it. I just go and draw my zones over them. But now that you've mentioned it, for new traders, this might not be the easiest thing for them to do, even though like, once you draw them, like the structure there is like perfect, right? We have perfect market structure here for the 4 hour, and it works the same way for any time frame. So this is the 4 hour right here. If you want to trade on the daily, because I know you like to, I'm not sure if you like to swing trade. I get you confused with someone else in the group sometimes, but if you like to swing trade, you could go on the daily, and then you do the same exact thing. You just turn on the K²SR, and you get structure on the daily as well. One thing that a lot of people like to do is they like to go on every time frame, and then they just draw structure for everything so that they know like where everything is, right? I mean, for me personally, I don't do that because it just makes the chart look all messy. I like to trade on clean charts. So just depending on what strategy you're applying, if you're applying this, I mean, it would make sense for you to go, top-down analysis. You go on the daily right here, you draw your structure, and it's the same thing. So I drew on the 4 hour. Now we're here on the daily. And then you can see from this point right here, it's the same thing. You have some nicely drawn structures. It's just, you're not trading US 30 like back in 2019, right? So this is kind of relevant, but you can see that it's still useful. Like for example, here we drew this structure on the daily. If we go down to the 8 hour, structure's still there. It still looks perfect, right? We go down to the 4 hour, structure still lines up perfectly. It gives you some really nice structures drawn. You go on the 2 hour, still there. You go on the 1 hour. It actually respects it a lot, because we drew these right here on the daily. So you have these on the 1 hour, it's perfect. Even if you want to go down the 10 minute, the structure is still being it's still being respected, right? Price break structure comes back up. It's the same thing over and over again. So yeah, famous. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm probably going to look at that a little later when I revise the videos, because I haven't made new videos in a long time. A lot of people like it more when I go on these live sessions, because I can talk to you guys, directly and answer your questions. But that's a good thing that you mentioned. So I'll probably start doing that for the next set of videos, because I still need to teach the snipe strategy as well. And it's just easy, it's super simple. That's why I created these indicators, because the problem with a lot of traders is they put structure in the wrong places. So that's pretty much how we would do that. Yeah, famously, you make this stuff look effortless. Yeah, I mean that's how trading should be, right? A lot of people like to overcomplicate trading, but in reality, it's not really that difficult. Honestly, if you know how to do things properly, or you learn from someone that knows, like, that has been doing this for a while, it's not really all that difficult. But anyway, so let me go back to US the 10-minute real quick. Let me see if there's a scalp here. I think let's see. So Assad said DAX is setting up. So let me pull up the DAX real quick. Oh wow! So that DAX that I called earlier, guys. If you guys took that DAX that I just looked at like a few minutes ago, it's like pretty nice and profit. I kind of regret not taking it now. It's about to hit. It's about to hit. It's already halfway to full TP, and it's on its way down. So if this closes right here, this actually provides for another entry for a sell. So you take this one right here. That's already like on its way to full TP. There's another one setting up right here too, Assad. Thanks for mentioning that. Right here as well. So whoever took this trade, if you guys want to rewind the replay, you guys can see that I did call this about like 10 minutes ago, and it's looking nice. So I'll just I'll set up an alert right here for TP. So when it does hit, I'll just give you guys a little reminder, like TP was hit. Scalp full TP. So yeah, that looks like a good trade right there, guys. Nice work off that. Let me see if there's anything else here that I missed before I continue. Mr. Idgelt said Ava Trade. I'm not sure. I've never used Ava Trade before, so I can't really give you any opinion on them, and I'm not sure what their lot sizes are measured by. But I'm assuming they'd be on mini lots, because I think they're in unregulated as well. Matt said, just noted when doing my back testing. Great explanation. Thanks, boss. Yeah, definitely, Matt. You just got to keep in mind that there's other factors in the market that that'll affect your trade. It's not just a basic, all the requirements are met. You kind of just got to look at, what's going on during that time. If there's news, if there's a holiday, because the main key with like analyzing these things, the better part is when you find losses, because when you find losses, you can figure out why that loss happened. If you just have wins here, yeah, it's great to have all these wins, but you want to be prepared for the worst, like when a loss actually happens, so that you guys can understand, what caused that loss. But anyways, let me continue down real quick. Biku said, where I'm stuck is learning where the top and bottom structure lines begin and end. So Biku, here, I'll show you an example here. So let me go back to like a higher time frame, like 4 hour. So it's easier for you to see. So the way to do that, Biko, is just turn on the K2SRs and then go to the end right here. So zoom out and then go to where they begin. So you can see right here where they begin, right? Each zone right here is connected to another line. So there's one line right here for the bottom zone and one line for the upper zone. So that's how you'll know that these are connected, right? So those are connected. You can see right here, this red one, this is the lower line and this is the upper line. So when you have that right there, connect those right there. See this green one right here? These are connected. This is the top line, lower line. Connect those together right there. And then you can see that this one right here, this green line right here, it cuts into this, right? If they overlap where there's a zone within a zone, you just connect these together. So instead of having this right here, just drop this down and then you connect that right there. Again, right here, you can see that this zone right here cuts into this zone, right? If that happens, you just drop this down and there you go. You have a big zone right there. You can see this red zone goes above it a little bit. You just move this up slightly. And then that's pretty much it. And then again, right here, you see how we drew this red zone right here? You can see that this green zone cuts into this red zone. They overlap. So what we do for that is we just pull this up right here and we connect those zones. So once you have these zones lined up, you turn off the K2SR, you zoom out from here, and you have perfectly drawn zones right there for the US 30 on the 4-hour. And then these are perfect because you tie this in with the momentum indicator, and you got yourself a whole strategy right there, right? Because like, for example, right here, it's the same strategy I've been looking at, you know, for every pair I analyze. We have like the start from down here, rejection. You have the buy signal right here. And then the same strategy that I've been talking about, you know, breaks and close past structure, it pushes up higher. Break and close past structure right here, it pushes higher, right? It's the same thing over and over again. Break and close past structure right here, you take that long position. You might not want to go for 4,000 pips, but if you're going for something less, like maybe 1,000, 2,000, it would have hit TP around here, right? So it's the same strategy that just gets, you know, repeated over and over again, and that's how you draw those zones there, Biko. So hopefully that helps. I mean, if there's still some confusion and you have a pair that you're confused with, just send me over the pair and I can analyze it for you more in detail, so that you can see exactly, you know, what you're getting wrong or what you're getting right, and then we can fix that. Because obviously, you know, with trading, there's always a solution. If there's something wrong there, there's always a solution. So like what I would do, Biko, is go on the higher time frames first. Even go on the daily. If you go on the daily, it's easy because the zones are so wide, right? You turn on the K2 pivots, they're like so easy to draw. So you see the lower line, the upper line, you see those two right there, and you just draw that right there. Perfect, easy, right? Again, right here, you see this red line, lower, higher. You can see this green line right here, it overlaps. So you just connect it up, connect it down. So the higher time frame you go, the easier. Obviously, you go down to the 4-hour, it's still kind of easy. You go over to the 1-hour, it's still kind of easy. I mean, they're not that bad, right? When you go to the one minute, actually, it's not that hard. If you use a pair like this, even the 1 minute's pretty smooth, right? You can see the upper line, lower line, upper line, lower line. And you can see that upper line disappeared, right? That happens when price continues to move forward, new zones will get created. See right there, it popped back up, it disappeared. So that's why these indicators are very important, because they give you the most important zones every time price moves around. So that's pretty much it for that. Let me check this again real quick. Wow, okay, so another setup for DAX right here. So nice aside. If you guys caught these trades right here, there's one scalp that was available right there. There's another scalp that's available right here. So this one right here, I mean, we're just gonna follow this main one, but there's two scalps that are available right there if you guys, you know, decided to take those. All right, it's 9:52, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna scroll through these Forex pairs real quick to see if there's any entries. If there are any entries, I'm going to call these for you guys in the premium group. Let me just make sure that. All right, so there's nothing there. There's nothing for odd CHF. Nothing really here for odd JPY. Nothing for odd NZD. I mean, these trades are still running from last week. Odd USD, CAD CHF, nothing there. CAD JPY, nothing there. CHF JPY, nothing there. Euro odd. This is still technically active, but hopefully you guys closed it, because I closed that at TB2 when price was way down here. You know, like I was mentioning, you guys have to use the exit strategy, because the Forex market just isn't moving that smooth right now, especially on these higher time frames. That's why we're more focused on these scalping rather than taking these other trades. So like Euro CHF, this is actually a decent buy right here. The only problem is that it's such a small move. It's not something that I really would want to take, but it's something that I might call for you guys. So let me just, I'll keep that marked up right here. I have that marked. And then we'll come back to it. So I'll come back to that. EG over here is pushing down. This trade activated on the 14th. I think this was Sunday. So it's still running down. EJ over here, we're waiting for price to break and close past this structure. Once it breaks and closes past this structure, it can provide for a buy entry. Euro NZD, there's no entry available there. Euro USD, there's no entry available here as well. GA over here. All right, so GA just broke structure right here. The only problem is that it's so close to the next structure. That's going to be a bit of a risky trade. But let me just mark this up for a long position right here just in case. Let me see how far is the move. I mean, I guess we could take it for a small little scalp, right? Because I don't want to leave you guys who are just, if you guys are interested in these Forex trades, I don't want you guys to be left in the dark while we're over here scalping. Even though you guys should probably just be scalping with us, because you can make a lot more profit scalping with us rather than waiting for these bigger moves. But you know, there's no problem with it. If this is what you guys want to trade, it's completely fine. So let's see, this is GCAD. Let me check the higher time frame to see if there's a upper zone. So I'm going to the daily. Nothing there. So weekly is going to have the closest zone right here. All right, so this is going to be the resistance right here. Risky trade resistance right there. And then we have another zone above here as well. All right, so let me go back on the 4 hour. Yeah, this isn't something that I would take because there's a resistance right here. Price can reject off that point at any point. So I'm going to take that off the list. GCHF right here. If you guys took this trade that I marked up, I think it was on the 14th was it Sunday. If you guys took this trade, it's on its way to full TP right there, 50 pips. You know, we took it easy because of the holiday. So I mean, unfortunately, we missed out on that trade. This is another trade right here for GJ. We might take this. I have that marked up. GN over here just hit, or I don't know if it's TP or stop loss, but good thing I didn't call that trade because it was it whipsawed throughout that whole move right there. GU over here, I know a lot of you guys asked for GU on Sunday. So if you guys took this trade that I called, well, I didn't call it, but I called it on the live session, not as a premium signal, but on the live session. It just hit full TP right there. NZD CAD, nothing there. NZD CHF, nothing there. NZD JPY, nothing there. NZD USD, thankfully I didn't call this trade because it would have hit stop loss. And this is what I mean about the Forex market just moving kind of crazy. It's not really moving smoothly because the market was closed yesterday. USD CAD right here, let's see. Looks like a decent move. So we got about 4 minutes left on this candle. I'm just marking these up real quick, and I'm going to go back and review these before I call them for the premium group. Nothing for USD CHF. Nice. Looks like this UJ position that I was looking at earlier hit full TP for 25 pips. So that looks good so far, but I didn't call that trade. So anyways, I have everything marked up now. I'm going to go back down the list and make sure everything is on point. So this would need to close as a buy signal. If it closes as a buy signal, we can take this trade here. It's going to be a small scalp, not a great trade, but I mean, it still is a trade. EJ over here, this needs to close above this price point. It hasn't done that, so there's no entry available there. GA, however, this looks pretty decent. I'm going to pull up the pound Aussie index to make sure that this is a good one because we're looking for a buy. So if we're looking for a buy, we want the pound to be strong and we want the Aussie to be weak. So this is a bit of a risky trade, but it's something that I might call. Yeah, I would just call this anyways. So I'll keep that marked up right there. I'm probably going to take these off. EJ doesn't look like it's going to close. EC doesn't look like a good trade either. Or actually, I don't know. We'll keep that up for now. GJ over here, if this closes, this could be a nice little scalp for about 60 pips, I'm assuming. Yeah, 60 pips right there. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. And then USD CAD as well. So let me just pull this up real quick. I just want to see the CAD in the dollar CAD index. So, I mean, the CAD's moving sideways. The dollar index is trying to push up, but it's weakening. So it's pushing up and CAD index coming down. So this is actually a decent trade. I might call this right here, USD CAD. GJ, I'm going to check the index real quick. I got 2 minutes, so bear with me, guys, and be really fast with this. Yes, the JPY is strong. So this is good. I'll call these two trades right here. USD CHF. Let me check this real quick. Or no, Euro CHF. Euro index right here. Swiss index right here. SXY. This is weak. This is strong. I don't know. They're both weak. So I'm not going to call this trade right here. These are both weak trades. But I will be calling this GA trade right here. So let me just, I'm going to call this for you guys in the premium real quick. All right, so you guys will see, let me just forward this over to the group real quick. Yeah, if you guys have any profits that you guys want me to send to the public groups, just send them over to me now, and then I will share them in the public groups. But let me just call these trades real quick. Yeah, where's the freaking buy stop at? There we go. And call these trades real quick for you guys. This is gonna be a 30 pip move. I'm probably just gonna use 2 TPs for this because it's such a small move. I don't want you guys to like be upset if it moves too quick for you guys. It's just a little scalp. It's nothing crazy. So GA right there. I'm gonna buy stop off that. All right, so we're in that trade now, guys. It's technically active. Same with GJ over here. Let me just call this over here as well. So I think this is going to need 3 TPs though. You guys can see here that I'm calling these signals using the same strategies that I'm teaching you guys here. I'm not doing anything different. So if you guys learn these strategies, you guys can like easily be consistently profitable because the same like fire calls that I make in the premium are using the same strategy that I'm going over here on these live sessions with you guys. So you guys can, and you guys see me calling these trades live. It's like, you know, there's nothing different here. I don't change anything. It's the same exact strategy. So if you guys have access to it, you guys can pull these off on your own. All right, so that's good right there. Send that to the premium. Just mark that right there. USD CAD. Damn, USD CAD, we might have missed this trade, but it's all good. I'm gonna call it anyways. I'm just gonna call this as a buy limit because price is already above. Oh, whoops, I gotta change this. I'll do that right now. I'll do that in a second, guys. Let me just finish this. Just doing this a little too fast, so it's kind of forgot to edit the TP on GJ. All right, so that should be good right there. Let me just edit the so we got a buy right there. GJ, I think this was 60 pips, right? Or yeah, 60 pips. So let me just edit that real quick. It's actually 60 pips. So let me just update that over here. All right, we should be good. So I've updated everything. I've called 3 trades for you guys right here for the premium members. So if you guys are in the premium, you guys will have all of my trades here set up in detail, right? I give you the entry points, target, stop loss, and pretty much all of that there. So let me see if everything else here is pretty much fine. So I called all the Forex trades right here. You know, we have an active GA, GJ, and USD CAD trade right here. Other than that, I think that's about it. I'm not going to call this trade right here. I mean, technically I could call it, but I'm not going to overextend myself and call too many trades at once. So let me just send out, because I just called 3 trades for you guys. So let me just set these alerts here so we can be updated. So this is TP1, 15 pips. And these are just small moves. They're nothing too crazy. Market's just kind of slow from the holiday, which is fine. It's a good start for us. All right, full TP, 30 pips, and then stop loss. All right, so that's it for GA. We got GJ over here. It's going to be TP1, 15. Yeah, it looks like the market kind of died down a bit, right? After we called those trades. So this is TP2. And guys, just a reminder, and if you guys have been with K2 for a while, I know we were talking about finding a broker that has US 30 on TradingView. I actually just signed up for TradeStation, so I'm going to try them out, see how they work. If they work good, then I'll refer them over to you guys. But I mean, if they don't, then you guys won't hear from them again. But yeah, that's one thing that I signed up for yesterday. So yesterday I was actually doing a lot of work, guys. I was trying to figure out new stuff for US 30. So I'll probably have a lot of new stuff coming out for you guys within the next couple months or so as I move forward with my discoveries. All right, anyways, USD CAD, TP1, 10, TP2, 20. It looks like some retracements for all these pairs right now after we identified them. All right, and you guys can see here, you know, I set up alerts for all those trades already. It's not that difficult. It's actually really simple once you get it down, because I do this every single day. And there we go. Pretty much good to go, guys. So that's it for our Forex pairs. Okay, so other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that we can take. I'm still trying to catch some of these scalps over here. See nothing for actually, no, it's kind of late in the market, guys. So it's already 10 p.m. I mean 10 a.m. So that's what I mean about you know, stopping trading around this time, because you can see right here that as soon as it got close to 9 and it moved up towards 10, it starts to reverse in the other direction, right? This happens all the time. The market moves in two impulses. So like, for example, here, you can see that the market opened here at 6:30. So from 6:30 up until close to 10, it just goes down, right? It goes down heavily. And then around 10, it ends up going the opposite direction. So I'm actually done with scalping today, guys. I'm not going to scalp anymore. I'm pretty much just going to take a break until Asia session, and then I'll probably be scalping some more then. And then, you know, again, later today, I have a mentoring session at 4 p.m. So if you guys want to sit in on that, just make sure you like this video, you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you turn on notifications so that YouTube knows that you want to watch my videos. So as long as YouTube knows that, they'll send you emails whenever I go live. And I go live like about 3 to 5 times a day. So just keep that in mind. If you guys want to sit in on my mentoring sessions, they're completely free. You can just sit in and watch how I mentor people one-on-one. So anyways, I think that's it for the questions. Let me see. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat so I can answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to be logging off for the day. I'm going to take a short break, and then you know, I'll be back for Asia session later as I get on for that mentoring session. I'll probably call some scalps later today as well. But other than that, I think we're pretty much good to go, guys. I don't know if you guys have anything else to ask. Otherwise, I'll sit around for a few minutes, and if we don't get anything, or a few seconds actually, because I think everyone's pretty much done for the day. I see the follower count kind of, or the live count dropped. So it looks like a lot of you guys signed off already. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat right now, and then I will log off here. All right, guys. So I think that's it for the questions today. That's it for our live session. We've been live for about 4 hours already, so it's time for me to take a break, drink some water, get some exercise, and then I'll catch you guys here later for the mentoring session if you guys want to sit down on it. So thanks for showing up, guys. If you guys haven't already, on your way out, go ahead and like this stream and follow the YouTube channel. That way I can continue to keep coming on these live streams for you guys every morning to give you guys my trade advice and to answer any of your questions. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this. If you guys have any questions, just reach out on the Telegram or email me at Shawn@k2trades.com, and then I can respond to you. So let me just answer this one question for Billionaire real quick. He mentioned NASDAQ. So let me just go to NASDAQ real quick. So for NASDAQ over here, Billionaire, I don't really see an entry off this point. I just see, I mean, it's coming up, but we would need that entry to set up right there before we take it a sell. But I don't really see, I don't have a bias yet, because like I mentioned, these pairs have impulses, right? So like basically right here from market open, let me just mark this up right here. From market open right here at 6:30, you can see that price comes down, right? Price comes down right here. And then as soon as we get to midway through market, it has its second impulse, and then it ends up swinging back up, right? So 9 o'clock right here, as it reaches 10, it starts to swing up in the opposite direction. So it might continue dropping later, billionaire, but it might come back. Like, we don't know what's going to happen yet. We would have to wait for the market to reopen, because the market reopens right here at 1500 hours. So what might happen here is basically, like I mentioned, it moves in impulses, right? So like right here, you can see when market open, it drops way down here, and then midway through market, it pushes up way up here. So you'll have to wait until like the market swap, when it swaps over and reopens. From this point, price can either continue up or it'll come like way far down, right? And continue to where it was going, like you mentioned, for a sell, because obviously it's in a strong sell right here, right? But I think for the rest of the session, it's probably going to push up slightly before it either, it could push up to here, it can push up to here. Like, who knows? It'll push up to some point, and then it'll either drop or it'll continue back up as we enter the market swap. So just keep that in mind. But other than that, I think that's about it for the NASDAQ. But all right, guys, thanks for showing up. I'll catch you guys later in the afternoon if you guys sit in on my mentoring session. If not, I'll catch you guys here tomorrow morning as we catch some more scalps, and I can answer some more of you guys' questions.